Good evening, everyone. Hope we're all doing well. I'm back. We're back doing a watch along. So, hope we're all doing well. God, I would have. I'm kicking myself. I had Borlace emergency in my defence, and the idiot that I am, I should have thought, well, not put the emergency on Chesser. And I would have been able to bench Dacos and taken Borlace's 90. So I've cost myself 53 points. So that's a little bit annoying. And then the VC call of not going bot last night cost me 23 points over merit. So we've cost ourselves about 80 points this week, which is not great when we're trying to push for the top 1,000. But yeah, unfortunate there. Got Giants and Sydney up tonight. So a few players in this game. Be interesting. Moonboy injured or tagged? For Dacos, both. He got injured ankle. I think you got an ankle. No, you get a knee knock and you got a cork, whatever you got. Heap of things going on. He got tagged. So not a great night for Nick Dacos, but yeah, the only solace with him is that everyone had him on field. I think there were only 10 of the top 1,000 that looped him, which was a really smart play. And a few people traded him out as well. I know Kara, who is in the top 15. She traded him out. She was asking me about that this morning, and I was saying you could in your position, you could trade him, and she did. So it was good for her. Shannon, evening bars. Hope you trade out Dacos. Wish I had. Yeah, I wish I did as well. Unfortunately, I went Mills, and knowing my luck, Mills will go 120 tonight. So that's what's going to happen. Ben Hayes, Dacos out for next week at least, pretty sure. We'll have to see what happens. He obviously didn't play in the last quarter, but we'll have to see. But then again, we'll be able to. There's plenty of options. Expensive, so we'll be able to go to a lot of people. Max Boston, everyone has him. Don't worry about it. Sick dog, don't have sick dog. So that's Ben doesn't have sick dog, but yeah, sick dog was great. Max, yeah, he's huge. So, I've gone Sydney tonight. I think Giants will win. I've only gone Sydney because in my tipping comp, it's double points round. I'm about 8 off of top, so I need to take a couple of risks to try and climb up in the ranks. So Cogs with the first clearance there for the Giants. And good, it did save. I was just a bit worried it didn't save there. Moonboy, Dacos out means I'm stuck with Himmelberg again, doesn't it? Well, hopefully you can do a double move where you can get rid of both. But yeah, you might potentially that might be the case. Is that a goal? Who kicked that one? Daniel Lloyd. So first goal for the Giants. Ben, lucky I can straight swap for sick dog as I kept throwing a can in the bank. So next week I'll upgrade a burger or Windy. Yeah, I'm the same. I kept about 270 odd, so I'll be able to go if Dacos is out, I'll be able to go him to someone. Then I'll be able to go Darcy Cameron to a forward. I'm not sure exactly who that'll be because there's not really any options sort of that I really want. Flanders maybe, but is Darcy Cameron to Flanders really a move I want to be making? Is it not really gaining anything? Like Geelong's a good matchup for Darcy Cameron, so maybe I get someone on the bench to maybe loop, something like that. Ben Hayes, happy with days 106. Yes, I am very, very happy. Yeah, and obviously you would be too. Yeah, very good to see him put up a good score. So there you go. Port actually up 12-6 at the moment. So good start for them. I would have gone them as like my roughie for my tip, but the fact that they had so many outs and it's down Geelong don't lose 2 in a row, I couldn't pick it, unfortunately. Sneeko, day pick of the year, started at 550k. Yeah, one of the picks of the year, 100%. I still think there's an argument for like a Bont to be pick of the year just because he was around that 100, priced about 100 and went on to, obviously he's gone on to average about 116 for the whole year. So yeah, definitely Day would be up there as one of the best picks of the year though, that's for sure. Shannon Page, anyone captaining Goulden or expecting a tag? They did say something in the week that they're going to put tension into Goulden. So that's the only reason I didn't ever look at him as a captain. But I've locked in Merritt's 112. I think a lot of people have either got Bont or Merritt, one of those two. And if you didn't have one of those two, you've probably been a bit unlucky or you just haven't used it yet. Sneaker, I'm putting the C on Goulden for fun after Merritt VC. Doubt there'll be a tag. There was talk there was going to be a tag during the week, but hey, if you want a bit of fun, then why not? Who VC'd Bont? Not me. Had him VC most of the week, and unfortunately, I took it off of him yesterday because I thought, well, my number one option this week was Merritt. I wanted to make sure I took his score, so I ended up going Doherty backup captain. So Max did have Bont VC. Max also got Libra and Flanders this week. Very good trades there. He got 100 and a 130 odds, so very nice. DJ Brack, I had Bont VC and considered looping Borlase 90 on the field instead of Himmelberg. I actually would have taken the 90 from Borlase instead of Himmelberg. Sydney's actually a tough matchup for defenders, so I'm assuming you can't now, but I would have actually done that. As Max Boss said, take 90 all day, Sneeko, loop 90 every day of the week. So hopefully, DJ Brack, you did listen to the guys there and end up taking the 90. Max Boss, hey, Bars, hope you're doing well, Max. Corey Blackledge, at least I got Bont VC. Hobbs is to go next week for me and potentially Dacos if injured. Yeah, unfortunately. And I know, Corey, you only just got Dacos a couple of weeks ago because you've been trying to get him all year. So, unfortunately, he hasn't been quite the pick for you that he has been for a lot of others, unfortunately. P extra sized, not having sick dog sucks. Yeah, no, unfortunately, if you don't have sick dog, you can put these ones on you. So, it's been a bit underwhelming the few weeks I've had him. He went 2 sub hundreds, got the 120 in between. But it was good to see him bounce back with a big, strong game this week. So, dogs at you, Taz. If Frost comes back in, which I think he should. I don't know exactly what the injury was, but if he does, then he will be a good VC option potentially. I don't know exactly when they play. I don't know if it's is that a Sunday game? Let me have a quick look. Actually, I'm not sure if that was a Sunday game next week or if it's early in the round. It's first Sunday, first game on the Sunday. So maybe it's a backup captain option or something, maybe. Corey Bladge, I went Noble out and Windhager this week for Dunkley and Vicentini. Yeah, I like those trades. Yep. Ben Hayes, Rosie and Butters, good start in the other games. Good to hear. I was a bit worried that maybe like Rosie was like a laid out for he's sick or something. Max, Boston, hey, Moonboy. Oh, no, just talking Moonboy there. Corey Bladge, well, I have to get rid of Hobbs. I have to keep Himmelberg now. Yeah, unfortunately. DJ Brett, yeah, I took the 90. Himmelberg owners can thank me when he tons up. I'd still bank the 90. Even if Himmelberg tons up, I would have rather banked the safety of the 90 than taking on 10 points. KO, again, doing its usual crap of just not loading and letting me just watch the Sydney game without like buffering and being really crap quality. KO is awful. I think it's on half 100 watchalongs. I just don't like KO. If I could afford Foxtel and just pay for that, I'd pay for it. But yeah, KO is just not very good. Actually, I want to check my tipping comp. Did anyone else go Sydney? So no one went Collingwood. So actually, the person on top went Port actually in the other game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people went Port. So a few people taking that risk there. And then, well, okay, the guy on top went Sydney. Okay. Well, that makes the Sydney tip null and void then. It's really the other one that I care about. So tonight I'm actually not too fussed about. It's more just, then again, I would still catch up on the person that's near the top. So, well, we'll see anyway. Actually, how many people did tip Sydney in my league? 1, 2, only 3 people, including the person on top. That's very interesting. Max Boster got Foxtel, thankfully. Yeah, I wish I did as well, mate. Marty getting lining up for his second goal here. So, yeah, I wish I did. I really do. So how has everyone's rounds been of what's everyone on track for? I think mine's gone all right. I've left points on the board in terms of no VC on Bont. And I, as I said, did the couldn't take Borlase for Dacos. But everyone's got Dacos. I think the only player that's really not done great for me is probably Darcy Cameron with a 78. He's probably only one, but I think everyone else has gone 99 or more, I think. So, actually, no, did Dawson get 90? No, Dawson got 99 or 97 or whatever he got, or 98. 98. Max Boston, slow start for Stewart. Oh, of course it is. I honestly thought about benching Stewart to take Borlase's 90. And knowing my luck now, Stewart will probably go and get a bad score as well. So I had 2 opportunities to take Borlase. What's the bet? His Libber's run looking very good. Looks like a top 3 option. I'm not sure about top 3 option or whatever, but he's a good option. I think is a bit of a pod in the midfield. He's one I'll probably have a bit of a look at next week. I still think I'm going to be going at this early stage, probably going Dacos to Laird, because I've got Dawson in my mids. So I'll probably just bring in I'll probably bring in Lairdy, get him back in, and probably then going a Darcy Cameron to, it has to be a forward, which sucks because there's not really a forward that I want to bring in. I guess if Butters goes well, Butters is probably the obvious one I don't have, so maybe go him. But if I want to go day out instead and keep Cameron, I can go get like a Jaden Shaw, who I'd be quite keen on, with a really nice run coming up. So that's probably what I'm looking at doing at the moment. If you are watching as well, as always, make sure you do leave a like on the stream. Helps the channel out very much. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're on, we 12, is it 12:55? I think we are 12:54. So we're only 46 away from 1,300. So if we can reach 1,300 by the end of the season, that'd be fantastic. So 12:54 currently. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. And then also, if you want to contribute to the channel, there is a super chat button there if you want to donate at all, and feel free. So what do we got here? Ben has 10, 12, 10, 21 at the moment. So how many is that from, Ben? And is that from your captain as well? There's Mills. He'll probably go well. Started in the midfield, so knowing my luck, knowing mine and everyone else that got rid of Mills' luck, he'll probably go and put up a good score. Corey Blackledge 972 with Gordon, Stewart, Butters, Himmelberg, Cogs tonight. So yeah, if you got a few in. Who have I got? I've got Cogs, Gordon, Stewart, and Rosie. So I think it's just the four. I think it's one from each team. Funny enough, there's Cogs there. Good, he kicked it. That's good. They've turned over a fair bit, Giants, in their forward line so far. Max Boston 1202 with Stewart, Rosie, Gordon in play. Yep. How many is that from, Max? I don't know exactly how many that's from, if you're on a good score or not. Ben, Stewart, very slow. Great. Ben, watch your boy Ash go big. Yeah, probably. Yeah. 10-21 with VC on Bont and 12 total, including players playing at the moment. Yeah, bloody hell. Bloody Stewart. I knew it. I knew Port restrictive. I thought the only reason I think I kept him was just because Port, a lot of outs. See, Port already, Marshall injured, McKenzie injured. So I've already got two players on the bench that are injured, and now they've obviously got their sub, but Stewart on the bench at the moment. It's only halfway through the first quarter, so I guess probably don't get too carried away. I shouldn't get too carried away. So Butters on 24 already halfway through the first quarter. Rosie on 18. So good start for the Port duo there. And Stewart's on 3. He's had one kick. Yeah, not a great start. And then what do we got here? So what we're surprising that's still halfway to the first quarter, but this game has got 12 minutes, but it started like 5-10 minutes after, which is odd. What do we got here? So Lloyd's top scoring 24, and same with Papley. Mills is on 10. Goulden's on 5. Cogs is on 8. Briggs 14. They're probably the main ones there. Actually, I don't know where's Tom Green. Tom Green's on 7. Haven't seen Whitford. Yeah, Whitford's just got the 2. So they're probably the ones that people have got. DJ Brett 9 for 950. My opponent had Sicily VC versus my doc, so I'm in trouble. Okay, so yeah, so you've got. So I think my matchup in one of the leagues I've got in my cash league, it was only 2 different, which is sort of a bit boring in a way. I want at least sort of like 4 or 5 different, but only having 2 is a bit boring. I think that the matchup was Doc, because he brought Parrish in, which was one of my uniques, but then he brought Parrish in. So I think it was Doherty and Merritt VC versus Bont VC and Sheasel. So the only way I win that is if Sheasel has a bad game and Doc has a pretty good game, because I've got to catch up those 20 points. So as long as Doherty outscores Sheasel by 20 odd points, 30 odd points, then I'll be fine. But it's going to be if Shizu has a good game, which Northland have got Melbourne, so good game there, then yeah, might not get it done. We'll have to see. We'll be probably close. Shannon, 11:09, 8 to play tomorrow, 4 in play tonight. Yeah, it's obviously going to be a bit lower. Well, then again, I was going to say the total, like in terms of pass score, is going to be lower, but everyone's got Dale, so it's probably still going to be about the way it's going. There's still a few big scores, like Bont still went big, and a heap of other players went big as well. So it's probably looking like it's going to be on track for again another 2,300 plus week so far. And obviously, it's just brought down a bit by Dacos with the injury and the tag score. Max Boston 12:08, 10 to come with 3 in play. So yeah, if you can get to 1,100 max by the end, and you still got 10 left, hopefully you can get to that 2,400 or more, or whatever. I'd be on track for a pretty good week if I'd went Bonfisi and taken Borlase over Dacos. But then again, there's probably a lot of people that said, if I bench Dacos, I could have been better. So I didn't really think about it too much. I probably should have looked at my app a lot more. I'm still kicking myself. I really should have looked at it, because all week I was one of the people saying I'd be happy to trade Dacos just because of the potential tag there, but didn't sort of listen to my own advice and loop him. I could have looped him, because worst case he went big, I would have had the loop on him anyway. But thankfully I've got this game on mute. Apparently Kelly Underwood's commentating this game, so apologies for people watching GWS and Sydney. Haven't listened to Kelly Underwood commentate, unfortunately, but yeah. What do we got? No, so no more chat. So halfway through the first quarter. So what do we got? So Goulden's now up to 14, which is nice. Cornelio's on 10. So they're the two I've got in this game. Himmelberg up to 5. So yeah, not a good start for many of those defenders. Like Whitfield is only on 4, sorry. Max Boston can't stand her. She can't call them the orange team tonight. Yeah, I watched a video of all the compilations. I don't know. I'm surprised that she's still commentating, because I know that there aren't too many fans out there, and it's not like we dislike her as a person. It's just the fact that she makes too many mistakes, and I'm sure that if one of the other commentators there made mistakes, well, I just don't understand how she's still commentating with all these mistakes. I just don't. I'm not too sure why. Because I've seen other commentators make mistakes in the past, and they don't have a job anymore. But she made like 3 mistakes in the first half of the first quarter last week. Like what she called the Gold Coast line. She called Will Ashcroft Marcus Ashcroft. She called Charlie Cameron Charlie Curnow. Like, you can't be doing that. You're a commentator. Like, one every now and again is fine, but when looks like Callum Ward's tagging Chad Warner at the moment, that might be an issue moving forward, potentially. Giants. Ward might be looking at doing some jobs, because he did it so well on Bont last week. Maybe they're going to be doing Ward on some players in the future. So he's going to Warner. So I'm just wondering who the Giants got next week. So I know they've got Essendon in a fortnight. So we've all got Merritt. That could be a bit of a nervous watch for Merritt in that week, if they continue to tag. I don't actually. Who have the Giants got next week? If they got anyone in sort of the last couple of weeks that. So next week, Giants have got Port Adelaide. Okay, yeah. So Rosie and Butters are probably the two. Maybe Butters is probably the one. So maybe I don't go and get Butters. I was talking about him before. No, not Port got Fred. Essendon, yeah, Merritt. That is a potential issue. And then Carlton. Not really anyone that we've got mainly from there. Bloody Stewart's on 3 points. He'll score sub 90, and I'll be kicking myself because I could have gotten potential jump on that as well. Is he being tagged for anyone watching that game? Like, is Stuart actually being tagged, or is he just not getting involved? Stuart's one of those players that I don't get too worried until the game's finished and he's on a bad score, because he can always find a way. Like, look at the North Melbourne game; he's on 70 with with 5 minutes to go, and he still managed to get like 100 and something. Max Ross, we all know why she still has her job. Anti Beresford went VC English. Happy with that. Thanks for advice yesterday, Moonboy. Well, yeah, they're good. Yeah, so English was obviously good VC as well. That's why it's just me missing out on Merit is probably the one that annoys me. Missing out on Bont, and there's another +6 for Mills. She's up to 16 now. But yeah, I sort of cancelled out the English VCs. I just didn't catch up enough ground like I was hoping for the Bont VCs. But hey, a 128 for my captain, I'm happy enough. And yeah, there's Cogs there. So a few players getting a little bit more involved now. I know Goulden took a +6 just for as well, an intercept mark. Butters 33. Good stuff for Butters there. Underscores, g'day Bales. How you doing, underscores, mate? Max Foster Stewart will do his thing where he goes on 55 with 10 minutes to go and ton up. Yeah, probably do something like that. But yeah. Underscore stuffed my VC and C this week. Don't know why. Put it on Taranto, and then the C on Dawson. Just horrible. Went Butters to Dunkley since he was my worst player. Yeah, a few people went Butters out with the tough matchup, and he's obviously started pretty well. Be unfortunate with that, underscores. I know you were. I wonder, where are you ranked now, underscores? I know you were doing quite well. You were around the top 500 last time we're on the Watchalongs, which is about 5 weeks ago now. So it's been obviously a little while since we last did one. I think around 16 was on the Friday was the last time we did one. So what's that? So around 17, 18, 19, 20. So yeah, 5 weeks. Yep. Corey Black, I want 2024 as my year for a high jump in ranks, is missing guys at the wrong time, like English, Dacos, Rosie, Dawson, kill me for finishing high this year, and too many pods that didn't work. Yeah, I know that it's every year we got to try and get on those players, as you say, the ones that people have got. So yeah, I missed having the likes of not starting Dacos was the one that killed me the most, because not starting Dacos meant when Doherty got injured, I had to get Dacos instead of being able to get Dawson. And then I didn't get Dawson till round 13. So that put me behind in that respect. And then going Powell instead of just having a Chandler on field, and then going Darcy over English, that was the other thing. So it's those three moves. Go McGrath over Dacos, Darcy over English, and Powell over Chandler. They're the three that really cost me. Yeah. And then to an extent starting Laird, but I would have been fine with those other three, and even if I started Laird anyway. But yeah, obviously it would have been better if I didn't start legs. I would have had more cash. I could have put that. So if I didn't start Laird and I went even if it was a Sarong type instead, that still would have saved me near on 300k, which would have given me enough money to go to Dacos from McGrath, and then go and get English from Darcy, and also maybe doing Powell up to someone. So that's right. I know it for next year. I've learned that you don't part for these expensive players. The only reason I did with Laird is because I just thought he was going to be so consistent that he wouldn't drop price, which would make him so hard for people to get in. And if he put up some big scores to start the year, that would have given me a leg up. But that 57 round one killed me. That was the one that really cost me. Underscores stayed the same for about 12 rounds at 1100, just bad captains. Yeah, I know, unfortunate underscores, but still 1100 rank is still pretty good. I still think top sort of 1,000 is still a very good rank. That's the new top 100 really, because it's just so much harder to get high rank next. It's so competitive up the top. Anti Beresford, don't think Stewart's tag just not getting near it. Hopefully, down at GMHBA, he gets near it in the last 3 quarters and can still find his way to a 90. he gets an 80 plus, it won't be too bad. But if he goes like 70 or below, that's going to be when it really hurts. Ben Hayes Butters 40. Yep, so going very well there. I wish I had him. But hey, if he goes well, maybe look at him next week potentially. But then again, Giants, maybe does he get a tag? So Giants are in front now after Sydney started pretty well. It was what, 3 goals to 1, and now it's Giants taking the lead. So yeah, Geelong and Sydney win for me tonight. That's perfect for tipping. Helps me out a lot. Campbell's going to be a very, very good player. He's going to be one that we're going to have to put in our black books to be picking in our teams in future years, because he's going to be a gun, especially when like a Jake Lloyd retires. Brandon Campbell's going to be their main guy in there, back there. So I should say, sorry, and he's going to be an absolute beast. Oops, sounds like I forgot. McLean underscores. Think for next year, forwards are going to be a lot harder since Rosie, Dunkley, Gordon, Taranto, Butters, Cog should all be straight midfielders. Yeah, they will be, unfortunately. So, sort of just quickly looking at it, I'm not going to go obviously in depth because we've still got a few weeks to go. We've got all pre-season to go, and we've got to obviously wait and see who gets sort of what in terms of mid status or whatever. But the ones off the top of my head that would probably screen that you probably would pick them is, you probably have to go almost McRae, just because he's going to be probably the best one we've got there, and he's going to be a top 6 forward really, and he's going to be cheap cheap enough. Bailey Smith's obviously going to be one that's going to be talked about a lot. If Flanders plays enough forward, he's going to be a popular pick after playing pretty well at Gold Coast. Obviously, Sheezer will lose it as well, so he's not even one we can even look at. The hope is Cherry gets forward status, so we can start him there, and then if Grundy leaves, and we can go Gorn, Grundy, and then Cherry in our forward line. But yeah, there's going to be a couple of options, but not many, which is going to be the hard thing. So it will be very interesting next year to see what people do. Shannon, sorry. Been a bit of a long day. Gone obviously the Crows game. I'm Mr. VC on Bont and Sick. So instead of Vanilla Mera, I may chuck the C on Viney versus North. That's interesting. I would still be banking the 128 personally, but if you're just wanting to try and get as much ranks as possible, and you sort of got, what have I got to lose, then why not? I'd still take. I've taken 128, and I could probably go. I could put it on dock and try and get a 150, but I think I'm just going to take the 128. Ben Hayes says, "Come on, Berg. What's Berg on? Yeah, 8. Wow, that's not good. 10 for Vicentini, 42 for Butters, 31 for Rosie. So yeah, going very nicely in that other game. It's a very high scoring game actually. 37 to 31 last time. Yeah, 38 to 31. I think it's got about a minute left in the first quarter. So yeah, plenty of goals in that other game. Underscores, yeah, think do a lot better next year. Only first year kind of just went with the pack on primos and chasing players that will make money. Team value at 23.5 million with Windhager so far really helped. Yeah, exactly right. I think my year has been solid as well. Like you're saying, I was similar to your scores where I picked some really good rookies that made money. So like I got on a Dylan Williams that not many jumped on. I got on Weddle. I got on Windhager early. So I got on all the good cash cows throughout the year. The probably only ones I missed was like a Seamus Mitchell, probably the only one I can think of. It's just been a couple of those starting picks and primos throughout the year that I might have got on instead. Like the Toot Miller one killed me as well. Starting Josh Kelly, and obviously getting the concussion round 1, starting McGrath over Dacos. So it's just a couple of 50-50 calls throughout the year. It's been the 50-50 calls this year that have really cost me. Whereas other years it's been other mistakes probably that I've made that have cost me. So this year I'll probably take the learning of the fact that I'm happy with decisions I've made. It's just been a couple of 50-50 calls just haven't gone my way. And if they went my way, then maybe my rank is sort of top 1,000, maybe even top 500 at this point. But that's right. We live and we learn, don't we? Who's that? Just had a shot. It's a massive kick. Not going to make distance though. Oh, Perryman. It was a quarter time in the other game, 44-31. So high scoring the other one. Max Boston, Buzz, one of those players I wish I had, but also glad I don't at the same time. This is why I traded Jake Lloyd in. Now he's gone. He starts playing well. Yeah, that'll probably happen. That always happens when you trade players. That's what I mean. Like Mills has had a pretty good quarter. I think he's up to 28 points, which is just absolutely typical. So he's going well. Meanwhile, I could have gone Dacos to Parrish instead of Mills, and I would be gaining points almost. Just typical fantasy. I was that set on getting rid of Mills that I thought, well, keep Dacos. You don't want to trade Dacos for 1 week when you're going to be stuck with Mills. But for points this week, it might have been aggressive to maybe go. Thinking about it, I probably could have gone Dacos out over Mills just to be aggressive and maybe get a like a bit of a pod move. But oh well. Crow Blackledge. Apparently, if Dacos stays playing mid till the grand final, he will be a mid only. Yeah, that's something we've got to watch. If he's a defender, I think he'll be popular starting pick again, just because of how sort of safe he is and how good he's been. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with DPPs and stuff. Stuart on 6. What? He's if my team was fine this week, I didn't have any issues. So if I didn't have a Darcy Cameron, if I didn't have a Mills, I would have probably looked at going a Stewart and Dacos out this week to get rid of the hard matchups and brought in like a Jaden Shaw, put Dawson in my defence and then gone Parrish. But I just couldn't do it with Mills in the side. Horn Front's on 51. Wow, it's very surprising. He's on 51. Not normally a high scorer there. Max Boss, you got me onto Windy. That boosted my ranks pretty good. Yeah, Windy worked out well for all of us. I got him actually the week that he came into the side, which was probably a little bit risky to be fair, but ended up working out really well. So I guess they're the moves though that's how you rise up in the ranks, isn't it? Sim, think my issue this year is too many sideways trades. Yeah, a lot of people get stuck with that as well, just with the sideways moves. Ben Hayes, Berg looking like a trade out with Dacos. Yeah, you want to get rid of Berg. I think he's on 8 points. There's just too many defenders back there, too many cooks in the kitchen. So 17 seconds to go. That will be, on the fault. Ben Hayes, I'll get Sick Dog, and I don't know who else, maybe Newman or Miller. Yeah, Wangini Miller's will be an option I'll be looking at. He's pretty cheap, and I like Gavin. So underscores might look at Dacos to Laird, Parrish, or Petrarca, putting Sheasel down back, bring Flanders in forward. Also brought in Borlace, who actually would have taken his 90 and bench Stewart, but had no one to loot with. Oh, yeah, I thought about the Stewart benching for Borlace, but with Port having so many outs, I sort of just thought, well, if Stewart gets tagged, worst case he gets an 80, I thought, and then best case is that he doesn't get tagged and he can get a 120 plus. And I thought, well, I don't want to bench Stewart and he goes 120 and then everyone's going to have him. So I thought, well, keep him on field and whatever. Dacos is the one I really should have put on the mid bench and looped to see how he went. But yeah. Max Boston, yeah, I went Windy the week you did. Yep, yeah, good move there, Max. So what do we got here? Hayden McLean top scoring 36, Jake Lloyd 33, Goulden 32, Papley 29, Mills 28 course, Tom Green 27 top scoring for the Giants there, 26 for Hogan, Brown and Parker 25, and then who are the other scorers? Briggs 23, Whitfield 21, so he got a bit busier later in the quarter, Ash 20, Canelio 20. Canelio's been quiet. Josh Kelly only 15 as well. Hilberg 8 there. They're probably the main ones, I think. I don't think I forgot anyone. And then I'll just have a quick look at the Port Adelaide Hang on, give me a sec. I'm just having a look at the Port scores, getting them up because it's just about to start the second quarter. So yeah, still say Marshall McKenzie injured. So yeah, they might be out for the game. So scores in that game. So you got Henry 53. That's a big score for him there. Horn-Fronts 51. Butters 42. Rosie 33. Good start for Connor Rosie there. Of course, Bonner's on 26, and he's on my bench in drafts. So that would have been nice to have had him if he goes big. But he was a late in. Duncan's on 20. Houston 20 for anyone. So he had 2 touches, Houston, but he's still on 20 points. Yeah, Mackenzie's been subbed, injured there. So Mead will come in. Via visiting, there's 10. Stewart's only 6. Yeah, so not yeah. Bloody Stewart. Yeah, so Mackenzie's been subbed and Marshall's back on. So Porter just the sub has been used. Sim, I could have looped Wilmot and Dacos, but didn't think of it early enough. I knew looping Dacos was a play as my opponent was doing it. Lazy on my part. Yeah, I was obviously, as I said before, I was saying that I would be fine trading Dacos out this week, but I don't know why I never really looked at it. I'm kicking myself because if I didn't loop Chesser, I might have been able to get out of jail because I had Mullen there. I guess I could have just benched Dacos and just not even put the E on him, but that would have been I thought that would have been a bit risky. That was the other reason I didn't do it in the end. It was just the fact I just didn't think of not putting Chesser emergency. I should have gone Chesser on my defender bench, but then again, I would have probably looped Chesser to be fair. So if I was thinking, who would I've looped before? Borlace, who's a key defender that could get a 20 or a 30, and Chesser. So yeah, it's I'm annoyed I didn't do it, but also on the fact that it's just like, well, I wanted Chesser for cover in my mids. I wouldn't have sort of gone Borlace emergency and then not gone Chesser emergency. So it just probably should have been. I might have just have benched Dacos straight up. But yeah, it's annoying, but yeah, oh well. And obviously for you, Sim, as well, would have been good if you could have looped, but who knows? Wilmot could only get a 50 or a 60, and then you've only cost yourself about 13 points or 20 points. Max Boss said, I'll go Sheasel to Batline, Dacos to Cogs. Yep. I like that move. Cogs will be a good option. I think he's got Port in Adelaide next week, so tough matchup. Maybe you want to go for someone who's got a better matchup, but that is a play. Underscores has got Dawson, Dacos, Sicily, Sinclair, Stewart, Doherty. That's obviously the 6 you want. I've got those 6. I've just got Will Day there, and I've got Dawson in my mids. Ouch. Evening all. Good to have you back, Bales. Hope you really enjoyed your time in WA. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was good in WA. Obviously, was there for 2.5 weeks. It's only meant to be a week and a half, but with the accommodation with my mate, I just said, can I stay an extra week? And he said, yeah. So that was nice of him and good to stay an extra week. Got to do a couple extra things. So, but stay tuned. There is a chance I'm back in Perth in a month's time, potentially. So if anyone is still in Perth, there is a chance I may be back. So that's the hope. Anyway, it'll probably be sorted within the next week anyway, if I am or not. But yeah, it'd be good to go over and watch the Crows play the Eagles at Optus in the final round. Would be not lovely to see Tex win a Coleman, and that to sort of potentially seal a finals berth for the Crows. But we'll have to see. But yes, Ouch, it's good to be back. I'm not as energetic as I'd like to be. A little bit tired, but that's okay. We'll push through. Underscores mid is Bont, Merritt, Steele, Brayshaw, LDU, Neil, Crouch, Flanders. Yes, obviously, if you can, put Flanders in your forward line. And I'd trade Neil out as well. Neil would be one I'd try and get off if I think there'll be tags coming in the last few weeks. And Bedford, again, KO doing its usual crap. I think Hogan's taken them up, but it's doing that buffering thing it always does. Underscores English and Marshall, then Gordon, Dunkley, Butters, Taranto, she's a cock. So it's a very, very good team there, underscores. Ben Hayes, bloody Stewart. Yeah, I can already see it. He's on 8 points. Yeah, of course he is. Angus Heasley, so good to see you back with the Watchalong's Bars. Appreciate the content. Thanks, Angus, mate. Appreciate it. Good to be back. Max Boss, Stewart's on 8 now. Let's go. Yeah, I know it's annoying. Maybe not Cogs then. Yeah, yeah, just him playing Port in Adelaide is probably not the one you'd want to bring in. Thoughts on Viney tomorrow versus North? If I'm behind in my qualifying final, both of us have merit VC. It's I guess it's a play. Could be a sort of a pod play where it goes 140. Yeah, if you need to win, why not have a throw at the stumps? See what happens. I think worst case he goes 90, and best case he could go 150. So yeah, why not? If you're talking about captain, though, I'm not sure about captain, but if you're talking about bringing in, that is definitely could be a play. Good tackle there on Tom Green. So Gordon scoring okay. Gordon on 36, which is nice. Anthony Beresford, nice bars, Perth rules. It does. It really does. It's a very, very lovely place. If I was to move out of Adelaide, it would be to Perth. And it's not even a debate. It would be Perth if I was to move. Love Perth. Great state, or great city, I should say, Perth. But WA is a great state, I should say. So, yeah. Ben Hayes, Henry going massive at the moment, 4 straight. Yeah, he was on 53 quarter time. He's going to be well over that now. So, Eddie Beresford can move day next week to defence to finally get Bont from Dacos. Yeah, I like it. Obviously, if Dacos is out, there's a chance he is out because it's a 6-day break. So I know Collingwood will try everything they can because having a Dacos out won't be good. But it'll be interesting to see if he plays or not and what happens. Sneeko, Rosie up to 50 already. Wow, okay. Stewart and Berg rivaling on 8. Yeah, bloody. I can already see it. Stewart's going to go sub 70, and I should have taken Borlace 90, which I was thinking of doing. And because I'd Mullen, I could have. It was easy done. Bench Stewart. Their defences are going to be sucking this week, really. Besides Sicily and Will Day, they're the two that come off top of the head that have gone well, but everyone else seems to have been really crap. Ouch. Yeah, I've had Viney for 4 weeks now. With Oliver being out, he's done pretty well. Yeah, he's been good since Oliver's been out, so it's been a pretty nice pod there. Ouch. Ben Hayes, Stewart and Berg. Oh, no, I said that before, rivaling on 8, and then I said that Rosie up to 50, so caught up on the chat again, which is good. There you go. Berg's up to 10, so he's above. Oh, no. Oh, no, it's a throw. I thought for a second he was holding the ball. Thing is, these day costs today a play I could make for some cash. I wouldn't. Day was good today, but there's been too many games this year where Day doesn't have that ceiling of the 130s and the 140s. He's only had 2 scores over 120 this year. He's had obviously he's had a few more hundreds of late now, but if you're looking to make cash in defence, the one player I'd be looking at, and I'm even looking at bringing him in this week and keeping Dawson in my mids, is Jaden Short. He's got St Kilda next week, and then he's got North Melbourne. Two insanely easy matchups for defenders, and he's under 800k. So that's why I'm looking at him. And yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't look at that. I'd go Stewart there, Angus. Oh, man. Tom Green actually top scorer of the game up to 48 now. Wow. So he's sort of gone ballistic in this quarter. What was he on? Like he was on like 20 something, like high 20s, and now all of a sudden he's up to 48. So Angus says his break even's 150 though. Yeah, I understand that, but at this point in the year, it doesn't matter about break evens. You were just purely targeting matchups. And the fact that Short's got those two matchups back to back is just too good to pass up. And because he got a 95, because he got 95, that break even will be about 120. So, yeah, for me, he's still a great option. I wouldn't be looking at the break even. So, another miss there for Bedford. So, Giants up by 4 points. Max Boston Tim's going to be pissed when everyone brings in Gavin next week. Yeah, Gavin. Who have they got? They've got Richmond. That's right. So that's a good matchup there. So, yeah, Gavin's an option as well. Like, it's funny. There's going to be a couple of defender options people could look at in Wangani Miller or Jaden Short. How did Goulden kick it from there? There were players in board, and I thought you got to pass that, and he snapped it from the boundary and kicked it. Again, another thing. I'm glad I've got that on mute because unless it was Dwayne Russell saying it, that moment would have been ruined. So that's the other thing as well. I don't get why they've got Dwayne Russell and Kelly Underwood on the same game. Like they're trying to make Kelly Underwood one of the lead commentator. That is an amazing goal by Errol Goulden, by the way. I don't get why they're both commentating because Dwayne Russell's a lead commentator, but he's like secondary tonight or sort of co-lead commentator. Like Hutto's another one that leads. Mark Howard's another one that leads. Like guys like that. But so why have they got two? It sort of flabbergasts me. But yeah. But yeah, Errol Goulden, what a goal! Insane goal. He just went up 11 then. I'm hoping you're saying that. Oh no, you're talking about Errol Corey. I would love if you're talking about Stewart and he doubled his score, but Angus easy. I've Luke Ryan in my draft league. He's been very good. Yes, he's been very, very good. Again, another pot option defense. There's so many good options in defense. So there's plenty of options. So Luke Ryan is another one with some pretty good matchups to come. So Max Boston, one of the best games of the year. They have her commentator. I don't understand. Yeah. Yep. A quick look at the scores in the other game. I really don't know if I want to look because knowing bloody Stewart's probably doing crap as well. Let's have a look. So it's 52-38. So I'll just check like quarter score. So Rosie 21 points for the quarter. Duncan 16 for the quarter. And that's in the first sort of 8-9 minutes. Stewart's at 12 points for the quarter, so that's a bit better. Just hasn't taken the marks yet. One tackle, kick, and 2 handballs, but at least he's got 12, so at least he's up to 20 and hopefully can start getting going. Butters is on 8. Vicentini is on 8 as well. So that was the other thing as well. I was saying I don't have forward cover. And that's why I got Borlase in, but I could have just put Vicentini in my... Oh, then again, I had him for cover for Marshall in case anything sort of unforeseen happened there. But yeah, hopefully Stewart can get going and do his thing. He's up to 14 now. So he had 3 handballs in the quarter. So that's the... Is he playing midfield? Because obviously that's been the thing of late. Stewart's been playing a bit of midfield. So I wonder if he's playing midfield again tonight or if he's just playing defence. Hey Bales, would you trade out Noah Anderson or Darcy Cameron to Dunkley next week? Appreciate your thoughts. What is the runs? Because that's obviously the most important thing. Himmelberg up to 23 now as well. So Himmelberg's starting to get going. Let's have a look. So Noah Anderson's got Sydney, the SCG, Carlton at Heritage Bank, then North Melbourne. He could easily be tagged against Carlton and Sydney. So that's a bit nerve-wracking. And then Darcy Cameron's got Geelong, Brisbane, and Essendon. In terms of matchup next week, I think Darcy Cameron's got the better matchup. I think Anderson has got a higher floor. I don't see Anderson putting out a 50. Darcy Cameron could always do that. We know that. If you still had Windhager out and you could loop Windhager and Darcy Cameron, I'd trade Anderson. I think, is that Errol again? Or is that Wick? Oh, no, it was Wicks that time. So sitting up by 7. If you can't loop, I still think it's Darcy Cameron out. I still think Noah Anderson is going to score better than Darcy Cameron regardless. So I would go Darcy Cameron to Dunkley, unless you can loop Darcy Cameron and Windhager or something like that. Max Boston need Mills and Berg to not do well. Yeah, I know. And Mills up 36. So Mills will do well. Knowing the fact that people trade him this week, he'll go well. Underscores might have to get Tom Green, not the greatest of fixtures though. Yeah, Tom Green will be an option, but he might be an option after next week. He's got Port Adelaide in Adelaide. I'd prefer to target him in the final 2 weeks. Ouch, trade a Windy this week to get married. Okay, yeah. So I'd probably go Darcy Cameron out. I know Norris has been frustrating, but I'd still prefer to have him on my side, I think. But if you're guaranteed to be trading Darcy Cameron out the week after regardless, even if you get Carnage, then you could, because Darcy Cameron's probably got the better matchup this week, or next week, I should say. Ouch. Kelly was very frustrated to listen to. Mixes up so many players and teams. Oh, man, I've got to wake up. It's annoying. Should not be in the commentary box. Relegate her to the boundary. She must be there. See, funny, I actually don't mind her in the women's. The women's, she's fine. I don't, like the AFLW, I don't find there being an issue. It's just in the men's. I don't know why. I don't know if she's like sort of trying to prove herself or she thinks she's trying to prove herself, but she just mucks up all the time. I don't know what it is. But she seems to be 10 times worse during the men's games than what she is with the AFLW. I don't know. But hey, we can't control it. So Cog's up to 39 as well. So starting to build. Corey Bladge, how's she called Charlie Cameron? Charlie Cameron. Yeah, I know. I, again, can't understand it. But yeah. I think it's easy. We'll be doing AFLW Fantasy 100%. Yep, already got my teams. Already put my teams in Moreira's Magic and then the official one. I've already put my teams up. I'm still not sold on it. Still got a bit of tinkering with the sides, but good. I've got a few weeks to go compared to last year where I did my team, I think, 3 days out from the comp. So it's probably good I'll have a little bit of extra time this year to be able to listen to the pods and whatever that I need to get prepared. Bloody hell, I was hoping I'd get touched by Hickey, or did Haynes got it? Giants back to within a point again. I just need Sydney to win for tipping. I really need it to happen. It doesn't matter for Crows who wins in this game, I think. The good thing for the Crows is that we're back to, I think we're back to ninth, and perfect scenario for the Crows is that it doesn't matter who loses tonight. If Geelong were to lose, but that's obviously not going to happen, so I'm not really too fussed with that. If St Kilda beat Carlton tomorrow, that's good. Oh, but that actually, no, then again, it doesn't matter because there's a lot of teams around the Crows that are actually playing each other. There's a lot of teams actually, that are close together playing each other this week. Like Sydney Giants are close together. St Kilda Carlton are close together. Obviously, Crows and Gold Coast were close together. Like Geelong and Port is still second versus, was it ninth or whatever it was pre-round, or eighth? Like Richmond were 11th, Bulldogs were 8th. So there's a lot of like close games because on that log jam. So, underscores, whereabouts did you sit for the game today? A bit of a jumper tug that game. They didn't know what to do with text. Took out definitely helped. Yeah, Took out did help. Yeah, I wasn't impressed with Gold Coast today. I'm all for like going in hard at the ball and all this stuff. But every time I saw a Gold Coast player, they were trying to push and shove the Crows players. I'm just like, what are you guys doing? You guys haven't made finals ever, and you're going over Adelaide to try and like bully another team. I just don't get it. I've never been the biggest fan of Gold Coast anyway. So it's probably still just that and the fact they played the Crows is probably why I'm just annoyed at them. But I liked them when they had Ablett there, but they've sort of just, I don't know. I always thought Tassie should have had that team in first. Like before the Giants, before Gold Coast. Apologies for any Gold Coast or Giants fans listening. I just still think that Tasmania should have had a team before Giants and Gold Coast came into the comp, because they're a more footy orientated state. Like footy's to Tassie's thing. Whereas New South Wales and Queensland, it's predominantly rugby. Like, yes, there are still a fair few fans in those states that follow AFL, but it's predominantly rugby. And I just don't know if it was the best idea to have two teams in the same state where it's not the main sport, compared to Adelaide, where footy is the main sport and it's massive. And same with WA, where footy is massive. You can have two teams from each. Whereas two teams in Queensland and New South Wales, I'm not sure. But hey, that's not her. Can't do anything about it now. I'm just my opinion, obviously. Jack Buckley looks like he got a bit massive corky there. But yeah, there was plenty of jump punches. Like Tex got taken out by Collins. I'm not the biggest fan of Collins anyway. Who else was there? There was a couple of other incidents that happened to them. I was just a bit, bit disappointed, but no, very happy with the result though. Hayward, yeah, Sydney goal, back out to 7 points again. Sydney playing well, 8 straight for Sydney. So kicking well, which is good. I think it's easy. We'll be doing videos on it for AFLW. I could. That's a shout. Probably could be a good call, actually. So I was sort of thinking, I was just like, do I do any videos? Like, is it going to be popular enough? Like, because that's the question. Is the AFL fantasy, like the men's fantasy, is popular? So that's why they're like, and it's obviously my number one fantasy sport, my number one sport in the world. So it's easy to make the videos for it because it's a bit popular, and I also love doing it. I also love doing AFLW fantasy, but is it going to be popular enough for me to do videos? It could be, because there isn't anyone on YouTube doing AFLW fantasy videos. So if I was to do videos on it, that could potentially be a good thing. I could do like a sort of like must have AFLW fantasy players. Could do something like that. A little bit like what I did with the men's one. I could do the must have rookies, must have players. I need to do a bit of research on the rookies because I'm not as up to date with the rookies in AFLW than I am with the men's. I could do a team reveal video. I could do plenty, and because like the official one has kicked off as well, that's created a bit more buzz around AFLW fantasy. There's a lot more people keen to do it this year because obviously being a Corolla being on the line in that one, and then obviously Selby's comp, they're being cash up for grabs. So yeah, well, actually, no. You guys can let me know. I'm talking to you guys right now. Let me know on in the comments. We've got people watching. Do you guys want to see AFLW fantasy videos? Because I'll be happy to do them. Because I won't be doing the men's stuff. Won't be happening. The only thing once this season's done is I've got a couple of ideas potentially for postseason I might look at doing. But in terms of like videos after, I'll be doing watch-alongs for all the finals. So every finals game. Oh, sorry, I just put my mic on mute. I'll be doing Heaney another goal there, so 9 straight for Sydney now. Yeah, I'll be doing watch-alongs for all the finals games. So I think that'll be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday will be the finals. I don't know if they do finals. Can't remember if they do it on Sunday. But I'll be live for every final. Probably grand final as well, actually. I'll probably do the grand final one. And maybe because the watch-alongs might, and I'll be able to talk about because I'll do like draft stars and stuff like that, so I can go through my lineup there. That'll be my fantasy sort of thing. And I don't know if I heard somewhere that Game Squad might be doing something to do with the finals. I don't know if they said that at one. I think they said that at one of the live. I think they were saying that live shows. So I'll obviously do that sort of stuff. So yeah, plenty happening. And then yeah, if people want to see AFL W fantasy videos, let me know in the comments because people be keen because obviously people are new to it, and I've done it for a year already, so people might want to hear the wisdom of Bales. Max Boss, we have a chance to win next week. We have to win next week to have a chance up to Saints, I think. Max, you talking about the Crows? I'm not sure if you're the Crows or Crows fan or not, but if it's Crows, we do have to keep winning. I think next week is the one that for the Crows that they can lose, as long as they beat Sydney at Adelaide Oval and then West Coast in Perth. If they win those two and lose one, I still think there's a chance for them to make it. But Angus East, I'd certainly watch. Okay, that's good. Thanks, Angus, there. Corey Badge, can't wait for Moreira's Magic AFL Fantasy Finals. Will be good. That's the other one. I forgot about that as well. We're doing the Fantasy Finals, so I'll be doing that again. Because part of me forgot about almost all of that because I was in obviously America, so just sort of I didn't take probably seriously as what I probably could have. Heaney from the boundary. Oh my, no way! Heaney's kicked one from the boundary. That's 10 straight for Sydney. 10 goals straight. They have not missed. What a goal from Heaney as well. They're really scoring from everywhere. Max Boston, I'll be doing it this year. Oh, good. So I'm hopefully be watching the videos, Max, there. Max Boston, yes, Crows. Okay, yeah, good. So yeah, we need. It doesn't matter if Carlton or St Kilda, whoever loses, it doesn't matter. Actually, it doesn't matter what happens. It's good for Crows either way. If it's a draw, it's good because we catch up 2 points on each team. One of them loses, good for us either way. I think preferably we probably want Saints to beat Carlton just because I think it's more likely can't win more games in the rest of the year than it is St Kilda winning. So it's probably a good thing if St Kilda win, but it doesn't really matter to be honest. Ben Hayes, Butters and Rosie, solid, good. So they're continuing. Anthony Beresford, how can Swans kick 10 straight? I haven't seen that in a long time. Yeah, it's been a long time since teams have done that. It'd be sort of interesting to know what the most goals straight in a game is. I remember that the Crows kicked 16 or 15 straight in Tassie against Hawks last year. They lost the game, which was annoying, but they didn't miss. So I think that's probably the first time since then I've seen it. Corey Bladgen, 54 points at least from defensive half too. Yeah, it's been a lot of that ball movement through the ground. So it's half time for the other game, and it doesn't seem like bloody Stewart's doing anything. Half time in the Port game. Henry's on 71, so obviously going well. Rosie 69, big score. Butters 68. Four and Francis 66. So the three midfielders there for Port doing really well there. Messi's on 54. Oh no. Duncan 35. Oh, this is not good. Vicentini 25. Tom Stewart 22. I bloody knew I should have taken Borlase to score over Stewart. Unbelievable. Stewart's going to go up and get a crap score, and I could have taken a 90 and benched Stewart. So he needs to have essentially 60 plus points second half to even get close to ball ace now. That is, why didn't I do it? There would have been people out there that did it. There would have been people out there that probably benched Stewart. I thought about it and I thought, okay, there's no point. I'm just going to drive myself insane. Ben Hose, hoping Sydney can get up as my best mate is in a coma from a car crash on the way to footy, which is really sad and bad. He goes for the Swans. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that, mate. I hope. Send condolences to your mate's family, mate. Obviously, that's not good to hear. I'm sure everyone in the chat be thinking the same thing, mate. So hopefully your mate's going to be okay. And we're all thinking of him, mate. So, but yeah, hopefully Sydney get up for him. That'd be good. I hope Sydney get up for my tip, but obviously that's not anywhere near as important as would it be for you. Corey Blattage at this rate, Himmelberg outscoring Stewart. Yep. 29 for Himmelberg, 22 for Stewart. So Toby Green just kicked his 50th goal for the year. Yeah, he's been in it for around a week. Okay, yeah. Well, as I said, mate, I send you and him and all his mates the best. It was on the news in Perth, and he wasn't driving. Himmelberg again for another +6. No, all good, Ben. All good. Ash again. Ash going all right. I think he tried to go back to Himmelberg, but it was intercepted by Hayward. And Hayward, that's a great kick. That's got to be a free kick. Yeah, McLean lining up for goal. Can they kick 11 straight? That's the question. But yeah, we got as I said, we got 13 people watching. I'm interested to see because we obviously had a couple that said if I did AFLW fantasy videos, would people watch? Would people watch? I'd be interested to know. Because if we get enough people watching it, I'll do them. If there's only going to be like 100 views on a video, and I'm not a big time YouTuber or any means like that. I'm still a very small channel trying to still build. But if we're only going to get 50, 100, 200 views, there's probably not much point me doing it. I'm going to be doing the Twitter space on the Friday. I can just do maybe an extra Twitter space in the lead up. But if enough people genuinely want to see a couple of videos, I might do a couple of videos. So let me know in the comments. There's a few people watching, so I'd be interested to get people's opinions. So I missed it. McLean kicked it again. So 11 straight. Interesting. They cannot miss. And they've kicked 55%. A goal. The goals per inside 50 is at 55%, which is crazy. So every second inside 50, they're kicking a goal. So at the moment, my roughie with Sydney is looking like it's on the right path, and it'd be really good if it ended up working. Another guy that I said in my tipping comp went Sydney, but I'd get that leg up on the people above me. Ooh. And then again, actually, because the guy on top went Port, I catch up the tip anyway. DJ Brack Crow's goal kicking almost cost us again today. Yes, it did. We kicked 9 behinds in a row in the. There's Himmelberg again. So Himmelberg getting busy. Himmelberg's up to 47 points now. So people were before complaining about Himmelberg, but he's really shown up in this quarter. So he's going on very nicely with 3 minutes to go. So yeah, Stewart's the one that's killing us. Free kick to Sydney there as well, I think, for McCartan. Corey Black, I want to get a hat for AFLW. Would be nice. I know a lot about AFLW. Yeah. Hopefully you do, mate. I'd like to get a hat as well. I was hoping last year I would have got one with the sort of the amount of people playing not as big as probably what it's going to be this year. So at this point, not to get a hat. But well, there's a couple of things that went against me last year again, which seems to sort of be the common thing with me that a few things happen. But then again, I'm still got plenty to learn as a fantasy coach. Max Boston, I'll watch, and I reckon it's a good opportunity for you to get new viewers. I know it's a good, and Max has a good point. If we get new viewers for that, grow the channel more. So when people said it, I wasn't originally thinking about doing them, but the more I think about the world, I thought, well, it's getting bigger. If I sort of do them now, when it's sort of still like fairly newish, because there's not many people doing it, I could almost be like again, I don't know if there's any AFLW videos, fantasy videos on YouTube, but I could almost be one of the sort of the first people to do it. So maybe that's again a good opportunity to put videos. I'll be able to like live stream the Twitter Spaces on the Fridays that I do, so people on YouTube be able to watch it or listen into it, I should say. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm going to be thinking about. I'll think about it, and if people are interested, I'd definitely be looking at doing something about it. Was that Parker that went long? Was that a Torp? Ben Hayes got Mills and Taron Thomas out this week. Every single week I traded a player that was going bad. They turn up, I swear. Yeah, I know. It is funny how it does that, isn't it? Anti Beres would do a poll on us 13. I could do a poll. It's just I can't do it through this website. I don't think. Music, QR codes, captions, design. That's not the one. I don't reckon on this website I can put a poll in. Nah, and I'd have to do it through YouTube, I think. And I don't even know if I can do it through there. I know that StreamYard I can do it, but I might in a sec, Anthony, but we'll have a look. Max Boston, think it's time for Thilthought to be dropped. Can't kick to save his life. I would still kick him in. He's good for the structure, and he's still young. He's a key forward. He's only in his, third year? And I still think he's a very, very good player. He didn't have the best game in terms of kicking today, but yeah, I'd be keeping him in personally. The one that I was very worried about before the last quarter was Rochelle, because Rochelle was nowhere to be sighted in the game. And Lockie Ash hits both posts on the siren for the halftime. But yeah, Rochelle had a decent last quarter, so you're not going to drop him, but he didn't play too great today, unfortunately. Corey Blackledge, so sad for Will Powell, saw that injury. I actually didn't. I saw a replay. I didn't see it much of it. I saw he went down, and I was like, I felt bad for him because he can't take a trick. I think he broke his leg, didn't he? And then he did his ACL already. So it's just like, it's funny that some players go through their careers without a scratch on them, and then other players just can't stay in the park. It is unfortunately just sad with some players. So hopefully Will Power can recover quickly. DJ Brett, early adopter in a growing market, give it a go. Yeah, it's I'm thinking I'm very strongly leaning towards doing it. Ben Hayes, you reckon the traders each week along with the Nord pods, they could have like a new guest each week, like you or Tim? Or wait, you reckon traders each week along with their Nord pods, they could have like a new guest each week, like Tim or something like that? No, yeah, they do Coaches Corner where they get some coaches on preseason. They get maybe a couple of people on. I would love to go on one of the Traders podcast at some point, but that's all right. I'm happy listening at the moment. I've got plenty going on as it is with uni and work and YouTube and the podcast and whatever, and a few other things potentially behind the scenes working with that, but a lot going on. Max Watson, black belt and courage. Toby Green has. Yeah, he's a different cat. Is Toby Green. Let's have a look at the scores at halftime. So Tom Green 61, Bedford 60, going quite nicely there. Hayden McLean 57. He's the only actually funny enough. There's only one Sydney player in the first quarter. So one Giants player in the first quarter was over 25. Now there's only one Sydney player over 50. So Goulden's the only one there on 49. Then you got Lloyd 44, Mills 43, Whitfield 34 in the other game, Hillberg 41. I thought Hillberg was up to 47. So maybe they already had the +6 and this was delayed by 10 seconds, so I missed it. But Ash's on 50, Canelio 49. So yeah, funny enough, tonight's fantasy hasn't been very good. Like, no one's really got Tom Green. No one's got Ash. Cogs and Goulden are just 49, so nothing really too special there. Mills is on 43, nothing special. Himmelberg 41, same thing. Like, it's okay for those two, but nothing special. Kelly 32 is the other one that's not doing too great. I think he's a bit of a pod for a few coaches there. And then the other game, you've got like Rosie and Butters are doing very, very well, which is good for people who've got both of there. But then you've got Stewart, who's on 22. So, yeah, it hasn't been a good night for fantasy. Really, today hasn't been too good for fantasy. I think the only real two sort of big performers is Sicily, who got 160, and Merritt, who got the 128. I think, yeah, Parrish got a 113, which is solid as well on debut. I was happy to bring him in for that. But there aren't, I don't think off the top of my head, unless I've forgotten someone. Ben Hayes, like for the traders to give awareness to you guys like the Bull Boys and Potters like that during the season. Well, for one, I think it's like they've got to like contract the AFL and stuff. So I think it's just with them three. But they've got that much to talk about. This it's almost hard for them to get guests on because it's it's just hard. But they did a like content one in the preseason where they had the Ball Boys and Hef from Keeper League and DC from Hat Chat and guys like that on there. So that was good for that. But yeah, I'm happy to go on it. Any podcast really. Like what went on the Ball Boys. So again, I'm anytime I'm going to talk fantasy, I'm happy. It doesn't matter where it is. I could talk about someone with fantasy down and renewing my license. Could be at a bar. Could be just out in the street. Anything. I'm just happy to talk fantasy no matter where it is. Anthony Barrows for Toe Green has been massive since he's been captain. Yeah, he's been very good since he's been captain, hasn't he? Been very good for Giants. Corey Blage, what did Himmelberg get that quarter? Let me have a look. What did Himmelberg score that quarter? Himmelberg in the second quarter had 33 points. So yeah, Haynes 38, Bedford 37, Himmelberg 33, Ash 30, Green 30, Briggs 28, Canelio 26. They were all the ones. The only Swans player to go over 25 in that quarter was Wicks on 26. So, DJ Brack, inside 50s, 40 to 23 and losing. Yeah, I know it's funny. Sydney have only had 23 inside 50s, but yet I still remember that goal from Buddy. How they give him a longer contract? That one I don't like. Buddy in the 2006 elimination final, I want to say, or semi-final. I think it was a semi. 2006 semi-final. Or was it 2007? What year? What was? I can't even. I almost had a bank. What year was it when the Crows lost to Hawthorn? When Buddy kicked that goal right near the end of the game. I'm trying to think. Was it 2006? I know one of the years the Crows lost to West Coast in a prelim. Was that 2006? I remember that one where Buddy kicked the 100 goals. If anyone can remember off the top of their head, let me know. And it's easy. I heard that Dunkley, Cogs, Rosie, Butters, Taranto, Gordon, and Dust Cameron are all losing forward says next year. What are we going to do? Yeah, I know it's going to be 05. Was it 05? Can't imagine it being 05. I don't think it's 05 because 05, I remember Port beat Hawthorn by That was when Port got like the 180, 190 points. 2007 elimination final. Was it 2007? Really? I thought it was 2006. But maybe it was. Maybe it was 2007. I just sort of remember 2010 with sort of Geelong and Port. Sort of that's the one. So maybe it was 2007. I'm a bit embarrassed not knowing this as a Crows fan. But yeah, I had a feeling it was 2006, 2007. It was somewhere around there. I knew it wasn't 2005 because I remember Hawthorn got beaten badly. It was 2006, 2007 when Hawthorn started playing well. But yeah, for 2007. 2006 prelim final. What is it? I don't think it's I don't think it was a prelim though. I'm pretty sure it was an elimination final semi. Let's have a look. So, AFL 2006 finals. Let's have a look. Let's have a bit of a. Should be looking this up because I don't want to remember it. 2006 final series. I just sort of turned 6 because the Crows finished second. So Hawthorn didn't finish in the 8. So it definitely wasn't turn 6. Yeah, okay. So turn 6 was yes, okay, that's right. Turn 6 was the year that we lost to West Coast by 10 points at Amy Stadium in the prelim. 11-19 to 11-9. That was disappointing. What about 2007? I didn't think it was turn 10, but it might have been. Yeah, Hawthorn were 5th and the Crows were 8th. So it would have been the elimination final. Yep. Yeah, elimination final in 2007. Adelaide lost to Hawthorn. And then Hawthorn lost to Kangaroos by 33 points. And then that's when Port absolutely smashed North Melbourne. Then they went in the grand final and they got smashed. And then Geelong just beat Collingwood. So it's almost like the Geelong-Collingwood was the grand final that year. Would have been interesting to see if Adelaide did end up beating Hawthorn. Would Adelaide have beaten North Melbourne? And then what would have happened if there was a showdown prelim? That would have been pretty wild, that's for sure. That would have been the biggest ever showdown. So okay, what was 2005 then? Have a look. I'm going to have reminiscing about all these finals at half time. I guess something to do anyway. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Crows finished top of the ladder that year with West Coast. Had a better percentage. We scored less points for, but we scored considerably less against. And Sydney Premiers from third. And then what was that? Oh, that's and then yeah, so the Crows lost to St. So we lost to St. Kilda. Yeah. God, this is taking me back. Sort of half forgot about some of these. Yeah, lost to St. Kilda by 8 points. Played Port Adelaide in that. Oh, that's right. That was the Port showdown. The semi-final. Port beat Kangaroos at Telstra Dome or Marvel and smashed them. And then the Crows smashed Port. And then they played West Coast over in West Coast. And yeah. And funny enough, that was probably... that year, 2005, it probably should have been would have been interesting because if the Crows did beat St Kilda, they would have played Sydney, Adelaide Oval. Sorry, not Adelaide, at AAMI Stadium. So would the Crows have beaten Sydney that year? Because Sydney obviously went on to win the flag. Would it have been an Adelaide West Coast grand final? That would have been something. But hey, good to reminisce about some of those times. Actually, just one. What was 2008? I apologize. I'm not looking at people's chat at the moment because I've got the tab open, so I can't see chat. So if people have said comments, I apologize. I'll get to them in a sec. What was it? 2008. So yeah. Again, Adelaide. Oh, yeah, 2008. Yeah, I don't want to remember that. That was the elimination final again. Crows playing Collingwood, who finished 8th. And it was a different one. Because 94 to 125. I can't remember that game actually. 2008 elimination final. Crows going down by 31 points. I can't actually remember. I don't know why I can't remember that game. The one that I remember was actually, hang on, just want to see. So Collingwood then lost to St Kilda. And in that year, I don't think we would have beaten St Kilda. St Kilda, obviously, they were fourth, but that was around the time when they were going really well. Was it 2009 then? I'm trying to think of the one where the Jack Anthony kicked the it was 2009 because the Crows beat of course, that's right. Crows beat Essendon by near 100 points. Then they lost to Collingwood by 5 points at the MCG in elimination final. And we should have won. And then Collingwood got spanked by Geelong, and obviously Geelong went to win the flag. So again, that year, would Crows really have beaten Geelong in the prelim? The way Geelong and St Kilda are going that year, good luck. St Kilda 2 loss for the year, Geelong 4 loss for the year. So going to be very hard. But anyway, that's the reminiscing for that anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little tangent we went on going back with the in the past years. What have I missed? Stuart better have 60 in the next half at least. I hope so. I really hope so. Max Boston, it was 09 Bales. Well, that's right. No, yeah, obviously I checked it, but that's all right. Jonah Edwards takes there. It's 128 or back in track. I'd take the 128. 128, you got to take. Like over 120, if you want to risk it, you could. But when it's 128, it's essentially 130. So I'd be taking that. So whatever. So okay. So what happened to Dacos? So it was that. Yeah. So it was that bad corky that he got from Blank. Bloody Blank. Oh no, I was gonna turn up to listen, but now I'm talking about Nathan Murphy. So be interesting to see how Dacos pulls up. That could be big for the Brownlow medal. That could be big. And I don't want to see him injured because it would be a special story if he won it. But if he was to not win it, I'd still like to see him play all the games he can and not lose it because of an injury. So hopefully he plays. But Anthony Beresford, Hawks stole a lot of flags in close finals. Eagles, Freo for flags. Freo prelim to then get Eagles. Yeah, funny you say that. I still won't forget, and we're going to be going back to Google again because I think it was 2013. I'm pretty sure it was 2013 when the Crows should have beaten Hawthorn in the prelim. Yeah, because Adelaide, no, it wasn't. It was Hawthorn beat Geelong. Was it 2012? Might in 2012. Obviously, Sydney won it that year. Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, it was. Yeah, 2012. When to this day, again, people can say what they want. As a Crows fan, I still think Dangerfield was held by Stratton. He handballed it. He got tackled to the ground. I thought it should have been a free kick, and instead they called play on, and the ball went down the other end. And I think it was Buddy that kicked the snap and put them in front. Or got them within. I don't know if it was put him in front or got him back in, and then I think Rioli kicked a goal as well. But yeah, 97-92. Obviously, it was a close grand final, and Sydney won. It would have been interesting to see Adelaide Sydney in that grand final, and if that would happen. Obviously, if that happened, yeah, who would have knows who knows what would have happened. So I don't actually think. Yeah, I think looking now, I don't think the Crows made the finals in 2013. I think they missed it. Yeah, they finished 11th. Yeah, which is surprising. They finished 11th. Then 2014 actually did the Crows make the finals then. Yeah, okay, they didn't. So this is when they went a little bit in like a lull period where they didn't make finals for a couple of years. 2015. When was the next time we made finals? Yeah, 2015. That's right. The Bulldogs game. That's right, because that was the year with when Phil Walsh unfortunately passed. And that's right. And then they played that game. They beat the Bulldogs and they got belted by Hawthorn the week after, just because I think that was just their grand final was the elimination final that year. That's right. Yeah. In 2016, well, 2017, I still think if that game was anywhere other than the MCG, the Crows would have won the grand final. Because I think they were the best team that year, but it was just Richmond's day, so they won the grand final. But Max Boston, Buzz trying to give my opponent a chance. Yeah, Buzz going very well. Max Boston, I reckon Bont has it. Was hoping Dawson could pinch it. I hope Dawson gets it. It's going to be interesting. I still think the top five will be not in order. Bont, Dacos, Dawson, Butters, Petrarca. I think they'll be the top five. Be interesting to see where Dawson goes in. I think he'll get a lot of votes. Like, there's no one from the Crows really I see stealing too many. Like, Tex when he kicked 10 will steal off of him and whatever. Butters to kick the goal. Great. Anthony Beresford. Mitchell has a history of giving out corkies. He got Fife and stuffed him, and now maybe Dacos. Sorry if it's too much against conspiracy, but just saying. Mitchell. Oh, you're talking about Sam Mitchell in terms of like doing stuff like that. Oh no, that blank one didn't look like he was trying to do anything. So, but yeah, bloody Butters. So yeah, Butters going very well, which is an Port in front now as well by 2 points. Of course, Port will probably win when I could have gone them as a roughie and I didn't. Butters on 89. So 21 points already in the quarter. Rosie's 77 as well, so he's going really well. Has Stewart actually done anything? So Stewart's on 6. And Port out of behind, so probably one of them was that. So, yeah, Stewart's going to struggle, isn't he, to get to a half-decent score, unfortunately. This team's on 15 as well. Having a good quarter there. They're going to have to get out of KO and go back in because I'm probably like a few minutes behind. Perfect timing because the second half just started. So good timing that I Parker had Goulden open for an easy +6 there. McLean mark. Wow, so the way this is looking, could have 2 upsets tonight. Port being up against Geelong, and then Sydney potentially. Maybe I should have gone Port as well and just gone stuff it. I need to try and get back in tipping. In double points round, that would have caught me up 6 points, and I'm down by 8. So I would have been within 2 if everything. Oh, actually no. But then again, the guys on top went Port and Sydney, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. So it's probably for my own tipping, it's probably the best that I went Geelong. But the guy on top actually now, tipping comp doesn't follow footy, so that's what happens with tipping comps. People that don't follow footy normally win it, unless you're in a group of people that all follow footy, obviously. 12 straight. Yes. Sorry, Anthony. Thank you. You reminded me about that, actually. Yeah, it is 12 straight now, so it just continues. Haven't missed yet. I think the record is 17, or the record's 16, and it's never been past 16. So it'd be very interesting to see if Sydney can break the record. Obviously, they're still at least 4 away or 5 away from what I know anyway. So they've still got to kick straight, and it looks like it's still raining a little bit there at Giant Stadium. So they'd have to make sure of a lot of goals and still keep doing what they're doing. But there's a chance. There's a chance, definite chance. And France is in the set mark. I was sort of nervous. I didn't really think Sydney would have real much of a chance with obviously no Buddy there, and they had someone else out, Rampy out. I thought, okay, that's a big out, but that's out in the full. That's out in the full. Yep, against Whitfield. So free kick for Ryan Clark there. I think Ryan Clark might be going to Whitfield. That might explain while Whitfield's not doing great. But then Josh Kelly's not doing great either. So he's going to one of the two. It looks like Ryan Clark's running with Whitfield. Which is surprising, so I'll probably take Josh Kelly first. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, from Whitfield. Anthony Beresford didn't see the blank incident, so I will take back that comment. Yeah, Blank was sort of running back, and he turned around. Dacos was coming at him, and he sort of almost tried to stop, but he still went with him in a bit of force, and it was a pretty bad corking. Got a bit of a knee knock as well. Angus Heasy on the forward situation. What happens normally without those midfields DP? I feel like we would have to use McRae and Kerno. No, I think that what would happen if there's a few players on the sort of borderline that could get it. So like obviously Walsh had been closer most of the year. Petrarca playing a bit more forward with Oliver out. If Petrarca and guys like that got it, that would make it easy. But let's just say that Petrarca and Walsh didn't get it and that all those guys lost it. There's a lot of forwards that we haven't really considered that are going to be potentially we're going to be starting with next year. So just looking at it here. So forwards, right? So we'll go to the top averaging forwards. Gordon will lose it. Taranto will lose it. Dunkley will lose it. Rosie will lose it. Cornelia will lose it. Butters will lose it. Sheezer will lose. Nick Martin will lose it. Caleb Daniel will probably lose it as well. I know he's not going to be, he wouldn't be a starting option for people, but he'll lose it. So that only leaves, Darcy Cameron will lose it. Obviously, the hope is that Flanders would keep it, but he's playing full-time mid, so I don't think he'll keep it either. So if no one was to get forward status, some of the obvious guys that some of the guys that you'd even look at. So you wouldn't want to start a guy like Charlie Curnow, but averaging 90, it's like he's going to be one of the top. So Mills lining up for goal as well. Can Mills keep the streak alive? Mills, you idiot. He missed it. You twit. Bloody missed it. The streak's done. I was partly hoping they'd do it, actually. I wanted to watch that. I've had a few funny things happen on the Watchalongs. Bloody Mills. Of course it was Mills. And he's now on 58 as well. So he misses it, but he's doing well as well. But yeah, so Kernow's the top averaging forward that will keep it. That it pretty much almost makes for a Crayon no-brainer pick next year. Well, he's going to be priced at around 96. Well, he's going to be priced at 96 of the season stop today. So he's going to be cheap. And he's going to be one you start with just purely based on the fact you've got the most confidence. But do you then start a guy like a Ben Hobbs because he'll be cheap and the hope is he just takes another step? And if Parrish leaves, then Hobbs, I think, becomes one of the biggest buyers of next year. Luke Jackson, if Sean Darcy was to Giants are going to be kicking a goal here. If Sean Darcy left Freo, then Jackson would be an option. Like Dylan Moore will keep it. So Dylan Moore all of a sudden probably becomes a guy you look at because he's only priced at 85 and knowing what he's done in the past, maybe you look at a guy like him. Bailey Smith is going to be really cheap at priced in the 80s. So he's probably one that a lot of people start with as well. So it's probably guys like that. It's probably a lot of forward lines at this stage would be like McRae, Hobbs, Bailey Smith, and then 3 rookies or something. Or maybe you start a Taron Thomas or something like that. They're probably the ones. I'm maybe forgetting an obvious one. Maybe Dylan, as I said, Dylan Moore could be one there. Maybe I've forgotten another one. But yeah, there's not a lot of options. So it's going to be very interesting next year with the forward line because this year we were gifted, really. We got 5 midfielders that I didn't think were going to keep it. Like Dunkley was never going to keep more than this year. Rosie's been full-time. Same with Butter's been a full-time mid this year. Taranto was playing forward last year. We got a gift because he went to Richmond. He was going to play full-time mid. Gordon has moved from being a forward to now like essentially wingman / midfielder. So he's not going to keep it. And Mills is going to get on the ball. So Mills is on track for a ton. So Mills with the tackle, holding the ball, free kick. Unbelievable. He'll put up a great score as well. He'll go over 100 and it'll be the first 100 he'll get since. So, and then like midfield's going to be funny because we've got Steele, Took, and Mills, who have all been 110s and 115s at their best, are all going to be priced under 105. Well, Steele is sort of starting to almost ruin what a cheap price would be next year, but he's currently averaging, what's his average? Steele's average at the moment is 101, so he's going to be a pretty popular starting pick next year. So there's a few obvious ones in the midfield. So forwards is going to be tricky. Defense even will be tricky as well because Dacos at this stage won't have defender status. Dawson won't have defender status. Doc at this stage doesn't have it, and I don't know if he will because he's going to be playing a fair bit of mid over the last bit. Short's probably an obvious one. He'll be cheap. Like Sick Dog's going to be expensive, so you probably can't start him because he's going to be way too expensive. So it's going to be very, very funny next year. There's going to be it's probably going to be a lot more open next year, I think, than what it has been this year. Because as I said, this year there was a lot of sort of almost gimme picks in a way. There's like those 5 forwards, as I mentioned. Sorry, there's a few bits of chat that I missed. But thanks, Angus, for putting that chat in. Obviously, made us go on the forward discussion there, and then a little bit extra. So, Corey Blackledge, Sheldrick's a mid only. Petrarca looking at no defender mid for Windhager. Yeah, and I forgot about Sheldrick. Actually, he was actually a good one to probably say. But yeah, he'll be a straight mid, I think. Oh, maybe not. He might still be a mid, but I don't know. Mills another tackle. God damn it! This is just absolute typical fantasy slapping us all in the face. Mills up to 72, the second highest scorer of the game, playing full-time mid. And what we've wanted him to do for the past month. And we keep a guy like Dacos, who we knew was going to get the tag, but we thought people that had Mills and Dacos were like, well, you got to get rid of Mills for Dacos. If anyone traded Dacos and kept Mills, you'd be laughing. There won't be many of them. Jackson looks like a shout if Darcy Lee, says Corey. Yep, definitely a one there. Andrew, Nick Dacos to Dunkley as my first trade. Where was his second? Ben Keys to Flanders. Great trades, Andrew. Love those trades. You were very happy with trading Dacos out and getting Dunkley. And then Keys to Flanders was a great trade as well. So some of the best trades I've seen this week, mate. Congrats. Out. Stewart has now gone past Dacos score. Hey, still probably shit. Andy Beresford had to be Mills. Traded him out 2 times this season. Yep. Yeah, of course. Bloody Mills. Don't get me wrong. Happy enough that Sydney are still in front, and Ash takes marks. Ash will be up to 70 now as well. So two of my past boys going well tonight. Ash and Mills. I think it's easy. Me rocking up to fantasy trades with Charlie Kenner, Shaw Bolton, and Dylan Moore. Yeah, yep. That could be potentially what we're looking at doing next year because of all the forwards losing their forward status. Corey Bladge, Taron Thomas is looking for a mid only next year at this rate. Okay, yeah, so he'll be crossed out anyway. Max Boston, if I lose with my opponent not having liberal sick dog, I'll flip. Oh, hopefully not, Max. Corey, I was toe green gone off the blood rule? Yeah. Corey Blades, I was reading an article that tracks from our pass on from Supercoach on Code Sports. Okay, yep. Angus Easy, I kept Mills, but that's because my team's so bad. Oh, Angus should be very happy with Mills for once. Andrew, thanks, Bale. It's all good, mate. Good. Look, trades were just so good. Like, going Dacos to Dunkley. Dunkley should go pretty well tomorrow. And going Keys, who got, what did Keys even end up with today? Ben Key scored, did he get a 70? Yeah, 75. So 75 for Keys. And you got a Flanders was it 107? No, 94. What did I think? Oh, no, that's right. He was over 50. He was on 58 at half time. And then he got to a 94. So he slowed down the second half. Well, let's have a look at the Geelong Port game because that would be halfway through the quarter, or 6 minutes left in the quarter. Actually, the scoring's actually showed up, so it looks like Jack Henry could be out for the game as well. Yeah, subbed out. Injury. I don't know what exactly the injury is. Butters on 92 as well. So Stewart. That's funny. Stewart, top scoring for the player for the quarter, 32 points. He's played 100% in the quarter, so he's probably going to come off with a few minutes. But isn't that just typical Tom Stewart? That he's just come on the bench, so he might go back on with like 3 minutes to go. But isn't it typical that Stewart will have an atrocious first half, 22 points, and then he's over doubled his score, being on 54 points, and if he end up getting to like a 60 or whatever by 3/4 time, he's probably still going to get his 90. It's just ridiculous. But we'll see. He's rescued it a little bit. Butters 30 points for the quarter. Vicentini 22. Rosie only 17. A little bit quieter, but Rosie still is fine. He's still over 80 points. And then this game here, Mills is top scoring for Sydney with 75 points. Tom Green 81, top scoring for the game. Ash 70, Canelo 68. Canelo's been a bit quiet, but he's still sort of just gone about his business and been able to get his points. No, he's down to 65. Must have given a free kick away, or they took a kick away from him. Briggsy 62, Hillenberg 46. Hillenberg only 5 points in this quarter. Disappointing. Kelly 42, Whitfield 41. This looks like the rain's getting a bit heavier there. Not good news for Himmelberg owners. Lloyd 62, Goulden 52. So yeah, Goulden's been quiet. I don't know if he'll get the tackle there. He might get the tackle, so he might be up to 56, but he's been quiet this quarter, only one kick. So Max Boston, let's go Stuart, 32 points so far this quarter. Yep. John, hey Bars, how are you? Glad to see the Watchalong's back. Thanks, John, mate. Going well. Happy the Crows won today. Goulden there, so Goulden and kicks to Mills. Oh, Mills is on 81. What is this? What is this treacherous behaviour? Goulden just got like probably 15, 20 points in the last minute. Florent, is that a goal? It's a goal. 13-1. How the straight kicking. Bloody Mills, he ruined it. He should have passed it off. I wouldn't have wanted to kick the goal because he would have, yeah. But yeah, John, glad to be the Watchalongs back. I was sort of a little bit dreading it in a way with the Watchalong back, and that was just because I was a bit tired. I was just like annoyed that I didn't have Dacott on the bench, but it's fine. But we're glad to be back. It's good to be back in a routine, and we'll have Watchalongs pretty much for the rest of the year. And then obviously finals, as if you would have missed, I don't know if you missed it, John, but I said I'm doing Watchalongs for all the finals games. So looking forward to that. I think it's easy. Who'll score more, Vicentini or Dangerfield? I don't even know what Dangerfield was on, but maybe Vicentini might get it. Andrew, any chance I could join the live Twitter space, mate? Sorry, Andrew, I forgot to reply to your message. I saw that you replied. It's a little bit hard getting anyone other than like our guests each week on, just because I organise them early in the week and we have it set, and we don't normally get anyone else on at all. So it's a bit hard. Might be able to get you on a Friday one though. On a Friday one, if you want to come on and ask some questions and chat with us, that might be a possibility. We had to get you on there, but it's just a bit hard with the Sunday ones. It's like Sunday is we just get the one or two guests we have on, and then we move into like all the chat from the round. And we always go over, like we want to keep our podcast close to an hour, if not maybe 55 minutes, so people don't have to listen to as much. But maybe it's a good thing, mate. I don't know. So yeah, it's just hard to get, like we run out of time. We want to answer people's questions on Sunday, so that's why I was doing the Q&As after on a Sunday. But yeah, we'll try and get on a Friday one, Andrew. Ethan, Nick Dacos apparently missed 1 to 2 weeks. There you go. So that'll be interesting. So I'll if that's the case, then that's one trade already done for me. That'll be what's his name? That will be Day Costa Laird. Day Costa Laird will be pretty much locked in already. And then my third trade, I'll have 270k in the bank. I can almost do what I want. I can go Darcy Cameron to a McRae with the two good matchups to come, or I keep Darcy Cameron. I can go Will Day to a Jaden Short, which is probably the play I'm leaning to, just because Jaden Short's got the two really nice matchups and a bit of a pod. That's probably what I need. I need something like that. Buzz a play, but he's got Giants. I'm afraid that he might get tagged. Andrew Hawks won. Yes, I know. Very, very surprised that Hawks won that game. Played very well. I didn't watch much of the game, but obviously heading back to the Crows game. Had dropped my mum off. She was going out with friends for dinner. So by the time I got back, I didn't get to watch any of the game. But yeah, Hawks played well. I was listening to it on the radio. Spewing, I did not get Crouch in this week. He went very well. I didn't think he was going to go 120. I thought he was going to be more a player that would just be good for the Crows system and get it maybe anywhere from like an 85 to 105, but played really well, very well today. I've seen people saying that he's playing well, but it might just be for Crows to get some more trade value for him. The way he's playing, Crows have never really, I don't think, want to get rid of Crouch. They've just tried to find a way to get him back in the side and for him to play good footy. He's playing great footy. Why would the Crows want to trade a guy that's playing really well at the moment? Like, it almost gives Dawson a bit of license to not have to be a full-time min. He can sort of do his thing around the ground. Laird doesn't have to be doing everything himself. So I don't know. There's a chance that they keep. Is that Goulden? Or is that yeah, Goulden lining up for goal. So I was talking before about him being pretty quiet. If he kicks the goal here, he could all of a sudden be on 76. But yeah, Crouch done very well, and he's potentially saving his career at Adelaide. If not, he's definitely going to go. There are going to be clubs definitely lining up to try and get him. So he can be used somewhere if he doesn't stay at Crows. But I'm almost sort of saying the fact that I want him to stay. Let's have a look. Can Gordon keep the sort of pretty straight kicking going? No, you missed that one, which is surprising because Gordon's only the one you think's going to kick him. But in the second blemish, Spewing. Oh no, that's what I said from John there. Max Stewart is a Collingwood of fantasy. Yeah, he finds a way, doesn't he? Undershaw's far out. Sad had to get rid of Butters, killing it. Yeah, he's doing very well. Unfortunately, I haven't had him all year. That was the other thing I should have done. In like rounds 9, 10, I remember I went Steele. I probably should have gone a rookie to a Butters instead. I think I went a rookie to Jack Steele, but I should have grabbed Butters around that time. Like again, just got to be hunting more for that value. Like that's the other thing I got to learn. I like this year. I did that very well. Last year, I paid up for Bailey Smith. I paid up for Tim Taranto when he was at Giants. I paid up for a few other guys. Whereas this year, I've done well. I don't think I've paid up for anyone this year. Like that, I haven't had to, except for when I got Jack Steele. That's probably the only time I overpaid for someone when I probably could have gone a bit of value. Like I could have gone. Well, I could have gone to Dawson, who was the top 2 defender at the time, over Steele. I could have gone Butters and saved a couple $100K and then maybe use that cash elsewhere. So just, again, learnings every year, try and get better every year. But that's a hard thing. Every year, everyone learns stuff every year, so it's just hard. Stuart up to 60 apparently, says Corey. That was a few minutes ago. Max Boston, I like long podcasts, gives me something to listen to at work. Yeah, some people do like that actually, but it's better if we do a little bit less because then you can listen to all the podcasts and be able to get everyone's opinion. But then again, I remember one of the guys on Twitter said that listening to too much content all of a sudden for him is a bad thing. And I could definitely see that. I get influenced by too many other people and make the trade maybe I probably wasn't thinking. Corey Blackledge, I might go Dacos to Libba and Hobbs to someone. Yeah, that could definitely be something you could do. Libba's a good option. I prefer Laird personally. I think Laird's got the better ceiling. I don't think Libba's got the consistent ceiling week in, week out where he can go 120 for many weeks. But we'll have to see. He did well on the weekend, or last night, I should say. Andrew James Sissy did 160. Yes, he went huge. Would have been good if he did that when we people looked at having him VC, but very Gordon gave away a free kick for Toby Green. So Gordon back under 70 again. But yes, Sissy very happy, and I'm very happy that. And a lot of coaches that jumped in the last couple of weeks will be very happy that he was able to put that big score up. He's averaging up 107 for the year, which is crazy to think he's doing so well. Corey Buttergen, Merritt, you paid up for though. Oh yes, so no, so I was meaning pre-buys. Post-buys, it doesn't matter if you're paying up. I was held apart for Merritt because I need him in at some point. I was held apart for some of these guys. It was just throughout the year paying up for like maybe a steal at 937 when I could have gone for someone in the 800s. Oh, thanks, Anthony, mate. $5 super check. Glad the watch-longs are back. It was great to meet you and get a selfie in Perth. Yeah, thanks, Anthony. It was good. Yes, thank you very much for coming up and getting the selfie. It was very much appreciated, mate. And yeah, good to meet you, mate. As I said, I might be potentially back in Perth in about 3 weeks. I might be there for around 23 and around 24. So if I'm there, mate, I might have to head over to, because if I'm there, I'll be at Varsity Fridays. You can lock that in. 2 Fridays, I'll be at Varsity. So mate, you should come along to one of the nights and get a beer and whatever. So Corey, but Libba has Hawks and Eagles come up. Yeah, he does. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, it's a good point. I just know that Brisbane do give up points to mids, Laird, but then again, Laird's my boy, so I'm probably biased in that sense. And I always locked in Laird for I'm getting Laird this week was the week, or next week I should say, is the week I locked into getting him in. So Giants are back to it's back to 12 points now. So hopefully Sydney can keep it going. They've led for a fair portion of the game. I sort of don't want to give it up now because they've sort of given me false hope. But yeah, sorry, I'll say it again. Thanks, Andrew, for the Anthony, sorry for the super chat. If anyone else wants to donate to the channel, feel free. There's a super chat button there. I would love to one day make this a full-time job and just make content for you guys. And yeah, the more sort of, I guess, the more that support that you guys give, which is fantastic. The more people that sort of come to the channel, like the more super chats, the more likes, the more shares, the more subscribers, the more views, everything on all of the videos. It's to try and build a community. And if this is a full-time job, I can do more content for people. And I can, if people enjoy the content, maybe people just like, with enough is enough what you do now. But yeah, I'd love to do this as full-time. So if everyone gets involved in the channel, that'd be fantastic. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. Bottom right hand corner, takes 2 clicks. If you don't want to watch another video on my channel again, if you just subscribe, it does help out, and then you can leave it there. And also like the video if you're happy watch-longs are back. Make sure you leave a like on the video so I can see how many people are happy the watch-longs are back. Andrew Merritt was my captain. Yes, very nice. Yeah, I had him VC, so I was very happy to take that. I would have loved Bont 151, and I had Bont VC into Merritt all week. I just thought, well, my number one option was Merritt. If Bont went at 115 or 120, I might have gone, okay, I'll go take his score. And then Merritt, if he went at 150, I would have gone, well, I lost 30. So it was that thing. You damn if you do, if you damn if you don't. If I went Bont VC, would have gone to 115, I might have taken it and then missed out on a Merritt big score. But because I didn't do Merritt, because I didn't do Bont VC, went big and whatever. So it's one of those things. It's just, yeah, 50-50 call. John, cheers. Tom Green and Mills play well when everyone's tried you out. Yeah, Tom Green, more the fact he was out injured. So it's I'm not too fussed about him going bad. It's more that he's now potentially going to be an option for coaches to look at. Gordon's free for a short +6. It's been free and he didn't go to him. Riccardi's been subbed off Angwin as well for the Giants. That sub's been made. Sam Taylor's such a good defender. If I was starting a defense from scratch, he would be the first player I think I'd pick up. Gordon could get it here though. Yep, Gordon gets his +6. He just finds a way, doesn't he? He had such a like not a great first half of the quarter, but he just finds a way to get the ball. And is he going to get it here? No, he nearly got it though. Oh no, he didn't. It wasn't him. Oh, running in trouble. Anthony, yep, haven't done the varsities yet. I'll make an effort to meet the purse crew. Oh, it's even if I like, it's an amazing thing that Kara's done with AFL Fantasy Perth at the varsities on a Friday. So he's just created. So like, I've only been I went. How many times did I go? I went 3 times. I went 2 Fridays and a Saturday because we did the Saturday with the week that the trades did the live show, so we didn't do one on that. So it's just so I like if enough people in Adelaide did that, it'd be great. Just on a Friday night, go somewhere with a pub for people that do fantasy, chat fantasy, have something to eat, watch the game, and then go home. Like it was so good the nights I went varsity in Perth where everyone just met for a beer and a burger or pizza, whatever you want, and just chatted fantasy, chatted trades. You get there 20 minutes before the game, you order your food, you chat trades and whatever. It's just and the Perth crew as well is just great. Like the amount of legends that and not in just the people I met at varsity, people I met at the trades live shows. People in Perth were so nice, and I'm sure they are everywhere as well. But because I've met the people in Perth, I can say it firsthand. They were just legends. That's why I'm sort of desperate to go back so quickly again, just because it was so enjoyable. And there's more for me to. Goulden, big hit there. He's okay though. It's just it was so enjoyable and can't wait to get back there. Whether if that is in a few weeks or if that's next year, I'm looking forward to it. But it's looking likely that it could be in a few weeks. So, Corey, Kelly's burnt people again. What's Kelly on? 48. Yeah, Mills smothered kick, I think. Be good if Sydney could kick a goal here. They've had it in their forward line for the last couple of minutes. Andrew Merritt went 256 as captain. Yep, I haven't had the 256 added yet, or the 128 extra added, but I'm looking forward to when that sort of kicks in. And then again, everyone else is going to get the 151. So Max Boston, Geelong up by 1. Let's go Port. Only time you'll see me barracking for them. See, it's funny. My tipping comp, if I've got a chance, if Sydney win this game and Port win, I'm going to rise up the ranks a fair bit, and I'll rise in the almost top 5. Whereas if Port beat Geelong, it's good for the Crows for finals. SC Seb should have gone McCluggage over Kelly. Oh, yeah, I know. Kelly burning a lot of people. A few people would have jumped on him as well as a bit of a pod. I said I would have rather him over a few people. And unfortunate, but typical fantasy throwing up stuff like this. I still think Geelong will win. Like Port have had a lot of players with the flu and stuff the last sort of 7 to 10 days. So I sort of think maybe last quarter Geelong will be able to get on top. But then again, who knows? I know Butter's on 106. I think Rosie 92. So Stewart, what did Stewart have in that quarter? Stewart had 38 points in that quarter. So Stewart up to 60 points. So if he has even if he has a 20-point last quarter, he's still on an 80. So it ends up working out all right. Butters 106, Rosie 92, and Stewart 60. They're the main ones there. Duncan 58 as well. I've got him in draft. I think I'm going to lose my draft matchup in the semi-final, which is disappointing. I've had a bit of unfortunate luck come my last couple of weeks. I had Tom Mitchell get subbed out today. Finn Callahan was a laid out, and I get Rory Sloane's 57 as emergency cover. I had Blitzarves who went down. I didn't have a ruck to cover because it's Dynasty 38 list spots, 18 teams. So there's no rucks at all. Tom Hawkins went out as well. So I had to play Francis Evans on field. I think I'm gonna lose that one. And I had Dawson captain. He got a 96, one of his worst scores for a while. I was thinking about Nick Newman captain against Saints. I probably should have done that, but yeah, crap. I forgot. I'm meant to be feeding the animals. More my animals. That's right. I can wait 20 minutes. I know it's 9:04, which is I feel bad for not feeding the dogs straight away. But coming home and do the watch along, I'll have to feed the animals once the watch along's done. I could do it quickly now. Just thinking, do I do it now? No, I think I'll leave it for a bit. Anthony, Origin scenario win Bales. I hope not. I really hope not. Giants have a knacker of coming back and they're the party poopers in a way. Well, that's what me and my mate like to say because every time we tip them, they don't win. Every time they lose, and then every time you don't tip them, they win. So knowing my luck, that probably will happen. But if Sydney were to lose, that would officially knock me out of the tipping comp for the year. I'd be 11. I'd be at least 10 behind the top with 3 rounds to go, which is what happens. So that would mean I'd be happy for Port to win. I wouldn't care. And funny enough, to go on top went Sydney and Port. So it'd actually be, if he got Port right, that'd be good for him. Andrew, I've kept Lockie Ashen on 70, maybe go higher. Yeah, hopefully he does. He's on 70. He's doing all right. I trade him, which of course he's doing well when I get rid of him. But yeah, hopefully it goes well for Andrew. But the rain has sort of slowed things down a little bit for those scorers. But yeah, Tom Green, 94, top scoring for the game, playing really well. Callum Mills, 83. So Tom Green's going to be a good pick in years to come, obviously. And it'd be good if he can put a full season together. Obviously, he did that last year where second half he was a bit underwhelming. He's done a little bit the same this year. Not as much, but then hopefully next year he takes that other step again and does well in the second half even more so. Briggs, 81 there. Canelio, 79, which is good. Going well. Cogs. Mills, 83, of course. Goulden, 77, going well. And Rowbottom, 75. So for me, the game's fine. Both my players are over 75, so they're on track for tons. It's just disappointing that that Mills is doing so well. Because, of course, I trade him this week when I could have gone Dacos out instead of him and still got Parrish and got more points, a lot more points. I would have already gained nearly 50 points from just that alone. Who else we got? Lloyd, 64. Whitfield, 52. Kelly, 51. I think that's where it should then. Yeah, Himmelberg, 57. So, Anthony, have a break and get the animals sorted. I think I feel bad for the animals, but I'll let because I think they're sleeping for one. So I'll feed them after late dinner. But 2, if I feed them, I've obviously got a microwave because we have different food for them, whatever. So like, Mum cooks up like frozen vegetables and pasta and stuff like that. And it's all in a container. So I'd have to heat it, take 2 minutes. I have to wait for them to finish it. I have to let them out, wait for them to go to the bathroom or to go to the toilet, and then come back inside. So take close, like be over 5 minutes. And I'm like, well, there's only a 5-minute break between 2, and it's probably too late anyway. So, Max Boston, Finlayson late out cost me $80. Multi would have hit. But Finlayson late out for your multi, that means you should get your money back, Max. If you put a multi on and Finlayson was a late out, and you put it on beforehand, you should get your money back for that because you put it on and then he's a late out. It's out of your control, so you should get your money back. Max, need GWS to win for my multi. I'm sorry, Max. I hope they don't because it would knock me officially out of tips for the year. Giants should be in front. They had more inside 50s. They had 19 shots to 15, but Sydney have been obviously very, very accurate. Oliver Bartel, I'm back. Good to see you again, Oliver, mate. Hope you're doing well. Andrew, my overall score is falling dramatically. Possible top 3,000. Hoping you stay top 3,000. I don't even know how my week's going. Mills got up. Oh, really? How did Mills get added 7 points? He's up to 90 now. Oh, man. It's just unbelievable. I know this time of year, you trade players out and they go big. Like that's luxury trade season. That's what happens. You trade someone out, they go big. You bring someone in, they don't go as well. It's going to happen. It's just so annoying when Mills, who's been so bad for so long this year, hasn't had one good game all year, then decides the week that I and a lot of other people trade him, that he goes, oh, not him, but Horsey, I will play you midfield. Oh, I'm going to tackle. Like, it's unbelievable. I could have, if I went, again, people, I'm not the only one. People that went Mills out could have gone Dacos out and would have gained us. It's probably going to be at least 60 points, which is a massive shift. And then if I was to top that on the fact that I went Merit VC over Bont, that's another 20 odd points. That's 100-point swing for the week. I'd be 100 points better if I'd done a couple of different things. But Andrew, do you draft? Yes, I do. Got I'm in two leagues. One I'm in a semi-final dynasty. That's the one I've been more keen for this year. And the way it's looking, unless my players tomorrow can go big, I may lose my semi-final, which sucks. I've had a few unlucky things last couple of weeks happen to me, my team. Blitzar's going down is a big one because I didn't have a ruck covering him. So I was going to try and pick a ruck late, but then they all got snapped up before I could even get back to him. Because 18 teams, are sort of by the time it gets back around, they're all snapped up. So if ruck's going to run, I probably should have invested in a ruck earlier, but Mills another handball, so Mills up to 94. And that's a free kick to Parker, I think. And then I'm in another draft, just a normal sort of normal draft, and I think I finished second for the season. I don't know how that's going. I haven't actually looked at that too much, to be fair. Anthony, depends who Max bets with. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. P extra size, Buzz, what's your action in Mills? Yep, not happy. Max Boston, I got my money back, but if he wasn't a late out, the return would have been $80. Okay, yeah, so it sucks he was a late out. What was Finlayson for? Was it for like anytime goal scorer? Geelong have just gone back up by 5 points as well. What are your trades, says Oliver? My trades, I posted them on Twitter before, but my trades were Windhager down to Borlase, just to get as much cash as possible. And Windhager's on my bench. And then I went Mills up to Parrish. So the way it's going, I might not even gain any points from that trade. But again, I still look at the trades, and they were the right trades. Mills was more a priority than Dacos because Dacos was meant to be, obviously, before that you got potential injury, was only meant to be out for this week, but then looks like he might be missing 1 to 2 weeks anyway. So might have to be gone regardless. And the other reason I didn't trade Dacos is because I would have been wanting to get Dacos back in next week or worst case the week after, but I wanted Laird next week. That wouldn't have meant I wouldn't have been able to get Laird. So it was sort of, I just thought, well, it's probably not worth training for a week. It's probably just having to bench him. So Mills, I think, gets another tackle there as well. So he'll be up to 98. Just ridiculous. Yeah, 98. Yeah, stupid. Anthony, Giants will win. Max, trust me. Let's hope not, Anthony, mate. I don't want you to keep saying Giants to. Okay, you missed it. I thought it was going to be a goal right when we were saying that, but Daniel's missed it. Angus Mills the GOAT. No, he's not the GOAT, but he might be for you, Angus, because I know I think you've got him. On Lloyd, there's an awful turnover. McDonald's been subbed out for Dylan Stevens and turnover from Lloyd on the kick in to Bedford. P extra size isn't had with Mills as well. Oliver and the Hawks win over the Pies yet. Oliver, I know you'd be very happy. I know you're a Hawks fan, so you'd be very happy with that win. Go the Hawks. Yep. Oliver says that there. Sneeko had to happen with Mills. Of course it did. Yep. Matt Cat's batting in front. Yep. P extra-sized. No way people didn't trade Mills. Yeah, that's what I mean. Everyone that had Mills would have traded him, but some people might have been forced to hold. Oh, that's an awful kick by Bedford. Straight out in the full. Mills looked like I could outrun him last week. Yeah, he didn't look good last week. Max Boss, never mind, I lied. My opponent has Mills. Oh, great. Corey, I would love to do a keeper league, but don't know who to get into one. Well, I guess you could put something on Twitter, Corey, and get people to retweet it and stuff, and you'd find people. The fantasy community's so good, and you'd definitely be able to find people to get involved in it. So if you start one next year, then get people involved. Maybe, I like doing cash draft leagues. Just add something on the line for them. I feel like if I did draft leagues and it wasn't cash, I probably wouldn't be interested in them, just because I don't know. I don't know if I'd find it as intriguing if there was nothing on the line just besides just there. I know that Fancy Cuss doesn't have anything online, but because I do the pods, do the video and stuff, I guess I'm just more passionate about it. Andrew, can you send me the draft code so I can? Can you send me the draft code so I can send? I don't know what you mean there, Andrew. Because the draft league's obviously my draft league's done. I don't know if you're talking about another draft league for next year, or if you're talking about Corey for you trying to get to join Corey's thing. There you go, Corey. If Andrew wants to join, then you already got one person on the Watchalong there, and you'd be able to get definitely more. Giants looking pretty dangerous. Oh, Lloyd got collected high then. Is that a head hit? He hasn't moved. Or is he winded? Free kick for Sydney. I don't know if it's a head high hit. I'm not sure. Max, anytime goal score. Okay, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I thought you'd have it for that. Merritt, VC next week. Sneeko. Yep, yeah, he's going to be a shout. That's for sure. North Melbourne next week. I haven't even looked at obviously captains for next week, but I knew that North Melbourne matchup he'd be pretty popular. That could be delivered against Giants. No. Oliver, my trades are Windhager down to Brandon Ryan and Daniel Rioli up to Dunkley. 200k saying like that. Yeah, that's great trades. Yeah, because Rioli obviously got injured. He got a 50 odd last night, so he'd be very happy with that. 10 points. And Geelong are up by 5 points. So if the game's finished now, I'd be very happy because everything's going nice in terms of tips. And there you go, Mark to Hayward. So Hayward, if Hayward kicks this, that'd be very, very happy. Let's have a look at the Geelong and Port scores. So Mitch Dunn kicked the goal there as well. So for the quarter, Butters on 121. So this is the Butters game. He's going big. Stewart's got 21 points for the quarter. So that means he's on 81. So he's already got the 80. And there's still 7 minutes 40 to go, which is ridiculous. Butters 18 points for the quarter. And Hayward's missed that one. So that's a bad miss. Duncan, 22 points for the quarter. If anyone's got Duncan rolling in their side. Where's Rosie? Rosie 10. So he's been a bit quiet. And they're the main ones. Vicentini's only got the 1 point for the quarter. What was the quarter that Butters went big then? So went 35 in the third quarter, 26 in the second quarter, and 42 in the first. So 40. So the first quarter is the one where he went big. But yeah, so Stewart's already got to a score where you're like, that's like it's respectable enough, and there's still just under 8 minutes to go, so he could still get his 100, which is ridiculous to think that he could still get that. Almost gave up hope that he was going to get a good score. All they need to do is get a good score, Sydney to win, and even if Geelong win in that game, I've got my 2 tips right for tonight. I'm still in the tipping running in my comp, and then fantasy's going okay, besides the whole day cost thing. But then again, everyone's got day cost time. Haven't lost out too much. Having Sicily would have helped because not everyone's got Sicily. Angus Heasy, Stewart's built different. Yeah. He finds a way. Like, look at the North Melbourne game. He was on, 70 in the 20-minute mark of the last quarter, and he somehow got to like a 110 or whatever it was. He had like 40-something points in that patch of play. So Marty couldn't hold on the mark there. So it's same with KO. Like, I get out of it. I get back in. The quality's amazing, but it lasts like 10 seconds. spin about 7-8 seconds, and give it another maybe within the next 20 seconds. This will go back to not as great quality, and then it will start buffering again. Or maybe because I said that now, maybe it will be good quality for us again, which would be great. So Giants on the move again. Was that Cogs with a handball? And Cogs potentially with an... Oh, no, he just bloody tapped it. Come on, Sydney. Don't let Giants score here. Actually, to be fair, even if Giants win, it's not a big deal for me because the person at the top of the tips went Sydney. And the person that's second is 2 behind, so they would just go level. So then again, half of you probably, all you guys probably aren't interested in my tipping comp. That's all right. I'll just talk about it anyway. Talk some rubbish with the tipping. Well, that's a long roost. See, funny, every time there's a kick, people look at where the ball travels. I always look at either one. If I'm at the game, I look at the player's reaction that's kicked it, or if I'm watching on TV, I look at the crowd behind the goals. If they're the fans of that team, because if they get up and cheer, you know what's going through. But yeah, still 10 points. Oliver, next week I have to trade Sheasel, McRae, and Whitfield. Well, unfortunately, you can't trade all three. If you're going to trade those, so what's Whitfield even on? Whitfield's 52. Whitfield's got again, Port next week. I'll definitely trade Whitfield out of those. And it's probably Sheasel or McRae. The thing with McRae is he's got Hawthorn at UTAS. He's got West Coast at Marvel. You probably can't trade out McRae with those two matchups. So you probably got to you probably trade Sheasel and Whitfield because Sheasel's role could change. But then again, if he plays defence tomorrow and looks really good with Clarko back, maybe you go McRae and Whitfield out. But Whitfield would be one. If Sheasel's role changes a little bit tomorrow or he doesn't have the set role, I'd go him out next. Goulden. Who did he kick that? What a goal. Goulden off of like not even a step. Like it was almost like a backward step. Oh, so they're actually bringing Lloyd off for it looks like I reckon they're bringing him off the concussion test. So I reckon that's what the doctor was running out to tell him. Max, umpires just gifted Geelong a goal. Really? Okay. Well, I'll partly take that because, again, another thing, good for tipping for me. But you're not very happy. I can see the angry emoji face there from Max. Angus, I look at the goal umpire. It sort of depends. Sometimes the goal umpire's in the straight, but it might hit the post. People got different things. So, yeah, good, mate. You're a star. I didn't even realise Mills got his 100 already. Mills is on 105. Of course he is. Yes, so Lloyd going down for concussion test. Corey Errol, another goal again. Yep, he's just an absolute freak. Mills handball. Ryan Clark. Oh, he's missed it. He's kick out in the full. Awful kick. If Sydney can get another goal, it'd make it very difficult for Giants to get back. Because it'd be what would it be? 22 points with half a quarter to go. Could still happen, but in the wet, maybe not. I don't know. Corey. I want to start Goulden as a mid-only next year. You want to start him, yeah, because he's just as they say, that observable thirst. You just know he wants the ball. Doesn't sense that could be 50. Geez, that's a bit rough. Haynes did push him after he took the mark. Sneako's Tom Grant lock for next year. I wouldn't say lock. He's good to start the year. He's been good tonight. I don't know if he'd be a lock to start with. I think a lot of people are going to start with. That's another goal. That's a huge goal by Dylan Stevens. If it's gone the whole, I reckon it's gone the whole way. I don't reckon that's touched. I reckon that is a goal, but then again, I wouldn't know. Or has Taylor got there? Taylor's got there. It's good. Bloody hell, he's just got there with a fingertip. It's going to be hard because the frame is weird, but I think it's touched. And Geelong just kicked another goal, so it's out to 17 points. I did sort of think that maybe Geelong might kick a few goals late just because of Port being like sick. A lot of players being sick. Showdown last week. They might have run out a bit of gas, but yeah, Sneeko, no, Tom Green could be a good option. Probably pod option. I don't know if a lot of people start with him. A lot of people are going to start with Touk, Mills, Steele. I'm a bit nervous with Touk and Mills next year just because their roles are a bit uncertain. But Steele for me is locked. Like he's already locked in my team next year, unless he does a season-ending injury pre-season or doesn't start the year. He's locked in. Oliver Bartel last week trades were Whitfield in, Sheldrick out, Luke Nankervis in, Matt Johnson out. Yeah, I like him, but obviously it hasn't worked with Whitfield, unfortunately. Last week it did with the 130, but he's unfortunately, typical Whitfield fashion, followed up with the 52. Half a quarter to go. I'm happy Butters has outscored Rosie this week, who I don't have. I wish that it was the other way around, but good. That's good for you, Corey. There, I know you haven't had Rosie all year. Port just kicked a goal then, so maybe not all done. So Butters 130. Bloody hell. 24-point quarter for Stewart, so he's on 84. If he get one more +6 and get a 9, he'll be pretty happy with that, considering he was on 22 at halftime. Gordon for a third. He's missed that one. That's actually a good point for Sydney, because that means it's 18 points. And even if they get another behind, it's another good behind, because it means that they Giants will then need to kick 3 goals to go in front. Max Boston, if Geelong are going to win, at least give Stewart the ton. I hope so. Hopefully they chip it round, may waste a minute or two and he gets his 100. That'd be pretty insane if he end up on 100 when he was on 22 at halftime. Andrew, Errol just went 102. I think Errol's on 110. So he's actually better than that, Andrew, which is great, 110. Corey, LDU as well, people start. Yeah, another good call. Yep, he'll be priced under 100, so he'll be another one that people might start. There's a few good value options in midfield next year, but the thing is, I don't know if we're going to be able to pick all of them, because you're not going to be. I don't think you're not going to be able to have all of. If you went Mills and Touk, you're not going to be able to have all of Mills, Touk, Steele, LDU, Tom Green. You're not going to be able to have all of them. Well, you could. They could be your 5 starting mids, and then you have 3 rookies. But there's probably going to be a mid price or 2 that I can't think of off the top of my head. They're going to be good options. Max Boston, game over. Geelong up by 3 goals. Well, obviously it's back to 2 goals now. Port kick 1, but yeah, we'll see. Who is your trade outs for the next 2 weeks? I don't actually know. Will Day will go at some point. He's been great, but I want to get because I've got Dawson in my mid, so I'm going to want to get a midfielder. So Day will go. Obviously, Dacos looks like he'll have to go if he's going to miss a couple of weeks or a week. I think they said on Foxful he's going to miss 1 to 2 weeks. So Dacos will have to go. Darcy Cameron will go. But besides that, I think I've got a team where I'm very happy with all of the players. So then it would just be on matchups. It would just be matchup based. So, like Laird will come in. I think I'll get Jaden Short at some point. So it's going to be interesting with how the trades go. But I'm not sure. Will Day cost probably because he's going to be out, I think, and Darcy Cameron the 3 that will go. But unless Carnage strikes for the last 3 weeks, I should be able to get a team I'm pretty happy with at the end of the year, which would be pretty good. I can't remember last time I was out that actually happened where I was able to look at a team at the end of the year and go, I'm pretty happy with. We'll have to see. Stuart got a near 40-point quarter in Supercoach this last quarter. Yeah, crazy. He finds a way, and I had him in Supercoach as well, which is great. Advantage for Giants. Don't let them take a mark. If Sydney can just waste another few minutes off the clock without conceding a goal, which they're going to concede one now, aren't they? Yeah, Ward's kicked the goal. Far out. Stewart up to 94, says Max, which is great. Only 6 points away from the ton. If he can, I don't know how long left in the game. Probably only about a minute left. But if he can get one more +6, that'd be fantastic. Angus Heasley, any Crows you think will turn it up next year to a new level besides Laird? Rochelli's probably a shout, and that was another one I forgot to say with the forwards, because all those guys maybe have Rochelle break out. He showed it early this year. Maybe he actually goes and does it for the whole year next year. Maybe that would be the one. I don't know about anyone else off the top of my head that from the Crows would break out. Tell you what though, Ball Lace looked good today. Bloody hell, big boy as well. He looked really good. I was very impressed with him on his debut. Did some good things. So, yeah, very happy. Andrew, Giants are still in it. Yes, they are, which is unfortunate because apparently the game's finished. So it looks like 94 Stewart finished, which is good because I was looking at benching him for Borlace, and I gained 4 points by not doing it. And Giants lining up again. Oh, no. And it's Toby Green, the one I don't want it in the hands because he's going to kick it. Please don't. Bloody hell, he's got it. Oh, they always find a way, don't they? Yeah, Andrew, I think unfortunately you might be right. Sydney up by 6 points, but Giants have kicked the last couple and they've sort of made their way back. And they've had more of it in their forward 50. Come on, Sydney. I want to keep my tipping comp potentially alive, at least for one more day, because St Kilda might lose tomorrow and it might be done for me anyway. But it'd just be good to have another night going, I might actually still be in it. Can't believe my Freo can beat Cats at home, but other teams can't, says Anthony. Yeah, it was very odd. Last one was so odd, wasn't it? So many upsets around the whole comp, really. Good. Go, Papley. Come on. Come on. Come on, Sydney. Gordon. No, it's Wicks, not Gordon. Go, go. Yes. Yes. Good. Back to 12 points. A little bit of breathing room. Good. Got off more like a Sydney supporter at the moment. Olive Bartel, are you doing AFLW Fantasy? Yes, I am. Yep. I was just talking to chat before about it, saying that if people are interested in me doing AFLW Fantasy videos, a little bit like what I've done here, it would literally just be the exact same format. It would just be must-have players. I could even do one for must-have defenders, must-have mids, must-have forwards. I could do that, or I could just wait. Oh, get stuffed. So it's a behind. Bloody Sam Taylor again. He's so good. And that's normally not you don't normally say something about he's so good and get angry at the same time. Oh. In a way, it's a good behind because it means it's 7 points. That means they got to get 2 goals, but it's just annoying the fact that it's now bloody not a goal. God damn it. But if Sydney can get a goal here after getting the point, then that would be very handy and make it that Giants have to have at least 3 scoring shots to get level or in front. But Giants are going down the ground. Daniels fumbled it, actually. Bad time to fumble, and then Goulden slipped over. Max Boss not pay Main not to not have to listen to Kelly Underwood. Don't think you're alone. But then again, you can put it on mute and you can listen to me if you think I'm interesting. I'd like to think I'm more interesting. If I'm not, I'm doing something very, very wrong. Sneeko, a lot more AFLW fantasy players this year, I reckon. Yeah, agreed. Yep. I think there will be. That's why it is interesting about me potentially doing those videos, because I think there will be a lot more people involved in it this year. Gordon is on 129 on my screen. Yeah, wow. 129. He's sort of just gone out of nowhere. 129. He was on 54 midway through the third quarter. It's gone ballistic in the last quarter and a bit. Oliver Butter, will you do cricket fantasy? Yep, BBL. Yeah, I'll be doing BBL fantasy. Do it every year. I don't know if I'll do videos for those, just because it's so hard to keep up to date. But then again, if people want to see it, I'd be happy. If enough people want to see something, I'd be happy to do it. Within reason, obviously. Not going to do anything stupid on the channel. NBA fantasy. Unfortunately, I won't be doing videos for those. I'm just not. I probably don't know enough to be giving the best advice for it. And I don't watch that too many games of NBA. I do the sports deck one, which is not the typical NBA fantasy. It's like AFL fantasy. It's like salary cap one. You create team value throughout the year. So then you have a team full of your big guys at the end, your primos. But yeah, so probably not. So Sydney free kick. So probably not NBA, but BBL, if people want to see videos for that, I could do it. That could be something we do. Mills free kick. So Mills is going to be over 110. Of course he is. I think it's his first score over 110 for the year. Of course it is. Well, I think I know who's getting my -3 this week. Don't care if he's not in my team. I can still get it. Oliver, I will like BBL fantasy videos. Again, if enough people want it, I'd be happy to do them. I don't know if it's popular enough though. But then again, actually, probably I think it is. I think it was 150,000 people doing it last year. Sydney I just want another Sydney goal to that little bit of breathing space. Goulden again, got to be Goulden's 130. So that's now, I think, 5 of his last 6 have been over 125, or 6 of his last 7, some crazy thing there. And Mills will get a tackle. So Mills is up to, he'll be up to 115, I reckon. I missed that. Someone looks pretty hurt for Sydney. Did Toby Green just take someone out? Yeah, Robbie Fox. Which I actually know people that know Robbie Fox personally. What happened? I don't think there's much in that. From what I saw, I don't know. I have to watch it again. Come on, Sydney. Well, the good thing is they're keeping the forward line. They're just wasting a little bit of time. Come on. Yes. Warner. Good stuff. 3 minutes 53. They're up by 13. Good breathing space. Could be going all right for tips this week. Good. Corey, I hope I make top 110 for BBL Supercoach this year. Came 143rd as I didn't have Smith in. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I think I went pretty well last year. I was top 300 last year for BBL. I'm pretty sure I had a pretty good year. I was pretty happy. So hopefully this year we can go all right again. Yeah, Corey Warner goal. Yep, very happy with that. Angus Heasley. Mills hasn't touched the ball in ages. He's still on. That hasn't updated, but he's on 115, I'm pretty sure. And still 115 is very annoying for a guy that's in the 600s that I could have traded Dacos, and it's like 80 points now. It's cost me and everyone else that traded him. And the fact I didn't have Butters as well, that's going to really hurt my rank because a lot of people got Butters around me. So yeah, unfortunately, I think this is going to be the first round in a while where I'm going to be dropping in rank. which is sad because I was hoping to continue this charge to top 1,000, but I may potentially slip outside the top outside to just like 3,000, mainly because of not having Butters. And yeah. Who you go for in the BBL? Strikers. Obviously Adelaide, so go for the strikers there. Max Watson, GG. Angus, yay. I'm assuming is that for Sydney winning or Andrew? I do not want to see Giants to lose. See, I'm not, as a Crows fan, I'm not fussed, but for tipping wise, I want Sydney to win. So I probably want Sydney to win in general. So 2 minutes 50. It's gonna be tough for Giants to win from here just because of the weather, but it's definitely not the question. Kick a couple of goals, game on. But yeah. Oh, yay for Mills getting points. Oh yeah, so wait, yeah, 117 now. So when it's one kick and a 120, that is unbelievable. He's outscored Parrish, who I brought in for him. And I could have gone at Dacos. I just didn't see Mills getting a 170. I know that Mills is capable of scoring well, but Giants is one of the most restrictive teams in the AFL for mids. And he's gone and scored his season high when everyone gets rid of him. Sneeko, Golden Sea rescued. Yep, yeah, exactly. 132 you'd be very happy with. The only people that have got more than you at this stage is like a Bont. The Bont VC is. Well, Mills has gone back in defence, so actually might get some plus sixes now. Oliver Butto, and do you like Darcy Short coming strikers? Yes, I do actually. I'm very happy. I think he's going to go well at the strikers. I think that losing Hobart is going to be a good thing for him. I think him a fresh start. He'll open the bat. He'll go back to opening the batting. I think they'll open with Matt Shaw and Darcy Shaw, which would be funny. The two shorts opening. So yeah, I'm very happy, and he can also bowl some overs. So I'm looking forward to seeing, because I don't. Look, when Travis Head was playing, he was opening. I don't like Travis Head opening for the strikers. He's not an opening batsman. It never worked. So yeah. Angus Heasley, restrictive, scheme restrictive. Mill scores in any matchup. Yeah, no, he does, but he's just been so bad all year that you would have thought that mixed the fact he's playing the Giants, you wouldn't have been confident he's going to score well. But 117, of course, he does. So a minute 29 to go. Sydney looking like they're in a good spot. Sydney get the ball here. If that's holding the ball against Himmelberg, that's a throw. That's a throw. He threw that. It's going to go to bounds anyways. It's a minute 9 or minute 8. I can't see Giants kicking 2 goals to level it up then. But then again, if they kick a goal with 20 seconds to go, well, like in the next 30 seconds, there's still a chance it could be a draw. I don't want it to be a draw, just because I'd lose my advantage of tipping the double points. And it's a free the Swans. I reckon that's game there. Free kick to Florent. Angus Easy. So far, all my players have gone 100 except Dacos and Taranto, who got a 99. Yeah, so just Dacos is the one for you. For me, it's Darcy, Cameron, Dacos, and Taranto, and then Stewart, obviously, with the 94. Everyone's done well. It's just a few players of Darcy Cameron with the 78, I think it was. Dacos, I could have avoided that. And you see, I could have traded. Oh, no, I wouldn't have been able to get Parrish. I was going to say I could have traded Darcy Cameron instead, but I couldn't. But yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do actually next week with trades. At the moment, I am leaning Will Day out over Darcy Cameron just because Short's got the easier matchup. Cameron's got a solid matchup against Geelong, and which forward am I going to get next week? So yeah, it might be those. Well, I'm not sure. We'll see. Early stage of trades. Laird will come in, though. That's one thing I can guarantee. Anyone listening, Laird will be in for me next week. So, yeah, the only way they win from here is if they get a turnover quick snap goal clearance, but it's not going to happen. So, it'll be game over. They're going to go to. Oh, don't go short to Mills, please. Don't get him to get the one. Don't get him the 120. Good. They manned up. But it's a good. It's not the best night in terms of Mills trading out, but it's a good night for tips. I'm still alive in my tipping comp. If anyone cares, which maybe you guys don't care except myself, which is I'm happy. I just saw Cogs only a 90, which is disappointing. I was hoping you might have gone a little bit better than that. How long's left? I've got 6 seconds, so 5 seconds, so it's nearly done. Lockie Ash got 97 as well, so you go. And there it is, Sydney win, which is good. I think it's good for Crows as well. It gives a few more teams a chance to make the 8. It shakes up the 8 as well because Giants were in a good spot to consolidate their spot in the 8, but now that opens up things again. And yeah, tipping, we're back on. We're back. I only gained 2 points on top, but I'm going to jump up in terms of the overall. What's the ladder actually look like with that? I want to have a look at the quick look at the ladder. So Giants losing, Sydney winning. So Crows go down to 11th, which sucks because Geelong won as well. But Crows are only 2 points behind Geelong. They're only a game behind Bulldogs, St Kilda, and Giants. So one of Carlton or St Kilda win, unless they draw. But if St Kilda win, they'll go to 48. They'll have a game clear of everyone else, and then Carlton will be back in the logjam. But now you've got this logjam. Bulldogs 44, Giants 44, Geelong 42. One of St Kilda or Carlton will be on 46 or 44. Sydney 42, Crows 40, Essendon 40, Richmond 38, and then Gold Coast to 36. But I think that it's nearly done. They're 2 games outside the 8 with only 3 games left. So I think it almost narrowed down now to 12. I think Richmond are probably out as well because they're going to be they're only a game out from Geelong. But if can't win, they'll be a game and a half out with 3 games left. So it'd be very hard for Richmond to make it. But for the other teams, it opens up. So it's Crows. It's good for Crows because they've got a good percentage. They just need to win their games. If they can somehow beat Brisbane at the Gabba, that would be amazing. But hopefully they win their final 2. 15, 17, 10 to places max. Corey, I'm going huge this round. I hope this week. You hope you're going well this week. 1461 before scaling. On Supercoach, sorry. 1461 with Sinclair, Wangan, Miller, Steele, Brayshaw, Neil, Eldigan, Marshall. Hopefully go up this week from 8,002 before the round. Sydney 1-0. Yep, very happy with Sydney winning. Max, bring on the top 1K. Himmelberg 73, happy to have him benched. Yeah, and you gained 17 points, DJ Bratt there because you took by Lacer score. Melbourne will be in second. Yeah, I think so. Angus Heasy, who's in the top 8 for you? I don't know if I still have Crows finishing. It's very hard. I couldn't pick a top 8 at this moment. There's too many upsets. So much going on. I'm not sure. So Tom Green, 141. It's his first huge score. He likes playing the Swans, actually. Has some good scores against the Swans of late. But Tom Green's now an option. No, that is for AFL Fantasy, not. Oh, Super. Okay, sorry, my bad. When you said scaling, that's just normally a Supercoach reference. I thought it was that. But yeah, so what do we got? We got Green 141, Gordon 132, Mills 117. Just Mills can do one as far as I'm concerned. Briggs 108, Ward 101, Ash got 97, Cogs 90, Rowbottom 94, Lloyd 89. Other relevant ones. Who are the other relevant players in the game here? Himmelberg 73. Josh Kelly 71. That's not very good at all. Whitfield 69. And obviously Finn Callan was a late out there as well at the bottom. Braden Campbell 33. I had him in draft. Marty 34. I had him in draft. Cunningham 47. Had him in draft. All in the same team as well. I was relying on some of these guys to put up some good scores, so I'm going to lose my matchup, I think. And then we'll have a quick last check of the scores in the other game as well. And then that'll probably be us for the night. Errol Gordon won the medal for... Okay, yep, I thought he might. He was pretty good tonight. Corey, Geelong versus Bulldogs, round 24 will be crucial. Yep, I think that'll be a Saturday night, that game as well. And then Geelong Port, Butters 130, Messi 117, Rosie 109, Stanley 105, Hornfront's got 100. There you go. That might be one of his first tons. Because I don't remember him tunning last year for North Melbourne. Maybe he did, but I don't know if he's tunned before. Tom Stewart, 95, obviously very happy he got there in the end. Third highest Geelong scorer. Duncan, 85. Bonner, 74 on my bench. And I had Campbell and Cunningham on field over him. Vicentini, 55. They're probably the main ones. There's not really anyone else that anyone's got. So, perfect. There we go. All right. Well, that's probably where it would be done there. Got a few things to do, whatever now. But appreciate everyone that tuned into the watch along. It's good to be back. Good to be on the watch alongs. We'll be live tomorrow night for the AFL Fantasy Fanatics Twitter Space round review. Make sure you tune in. We've got Mini Monk and DT Lemon. So we've got two amazing coaches, two great minds joining us. So make sure you do. It should be a very, very good one. Looking forward to it. I don't think we've had the duo of Mini Monk and DT Lemon on our channel yet. We've had both of them on, but it'd be good to get them both on at the same time and chat through. It'll be a good chat. Make sure you like the stream if you enjoyed watching. Hopefully we get at least 20 likes. We had 13 people watching for most of it. But if you can like the stream, and if you did enjoy the watch-alongs, make sure you click the like. Also, subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. Yeah, it was on front's first time, I thought so. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do bottom right-hand corner. We're on our way to 1,300. We're only 36 away from 1,300, so make sure you get involved. We got one tonight, so we're only 45 away now. So thanks to whoever subscribed for that. Turn notifications on so you miss when I go live. Obviously, tomorrow, as we said, then the round review Monday, Trade Talk Wednesday. We'll be back for the pre-lockout chat Friday, watch longs Saturday, and all that good stuff. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. And yeah, we'll catch you guys tomorrow night for the round review. So I'm out, guys. Have a good one. Cheers.